in the beginning. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video if you want more content like this. And leave a comment.
Hey man, welcome back to the Act Like You Know podcast, man. I'm here with Coach K, and we got a special guest returning, Zaytoven. Man, how you boys feeling, man? Coach K, how you feeling?
I mean, I feel good about week one. I don't know about Zaytoven, but
I'm glad it's over. I'll say that. I'm glad we on the next day.
He knew the results. I watched this video. He knew the results.
I didn't, but I did at the same time. For the video, for the viewers, I had to, get right for them. But I knew week one. And Kenny, well, we're gonna get there. I'm gonna save it because
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, football's back. Besides that, football's back. How you guys feel about that, man?
Feel good. Me and FanDuel are friends again.
So. I'm a football fan now, so like I'm excited. Even after week one, I'm excited just to watch football again.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get to me, man. I don't want to speak on it right now. I'm still in mourning. All right, man. Let's get straight into it, man. First game we had was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions, man. Coach K, what'd you see that game? Give me your thoughts.
I'm not gonna say I thought the Lions were gonna win, but I did know it was gonna be a fucking fight. So that's something I could say I called. Me personally, I took the Chiefs plus 3.5. So I hit the shit on the money. But it's like I would say the Chiefs they got a lot of work to do if they're gonna be piggybacking on those young receivers and inconsistent guys like Kadarius Toney, who are too busy worrying about what fans are saying on Twitter. So then you got the Lions, who I've always been a fan of Jared Goff. We talked on him last year. A lot of people didn't like or respect him, but Jared Goff is that guy. He has a lot of weapons on that side with Detroit. But you already know history of Detroit. It's gonna look good till it ain't good. But they got a shitty division, so it's a dogfight.
Well, for me, I was shocked a little bit. I thought the Chiefs were still gonna be able to win that game, even without Travis Kelce or Chris Jones out there, which is a big reason why I feel like that game was even the way it went, because they didn't have their best defensive player out there. But I'm gonna start giving credit to teams like the Lions. I watched them last year. They had me like, all right, I'm gonna start looking out for them. But those are one of those teams that I just don't give respect to. But for them to go in there and win the way they did, they opened my eyes a lot, and they're gonna be pretty good this year.
Yeah, I agree. The thing that gives me a lot of faith about the Lions is that offensive line is, if it's not the best offensive line, it's top 3. I personally think it's right behind the Eagles. That boy Jared Goff does not get touched. Like, I don't remember him having to deal with a lot of pressure. Now, that granted, I know Chris Jones was out, but like even still, them boys,
nothing. It was nothing.
He got some real protection in front of him. Yeah, I'm just interested to see what the Browns are gonna do. I wish they had Jameson Williams. He's out for 6 games, right? Does anyone know? 6, right?
Who'd you say?
I think it's Jameson Williams.
He's out for 6 games? Yeah. I think it's 6.
So I'm interested to see what
he was making a lot more excited.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. So,
but Gibbs is pretty nice.
Yes.
Hey, and another guy that I wasn't really hip to was St. Brown. I knew who he was, but I wasn't that hip. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I watched the pod. I think James was like, "What about, is he better than DK?" I would have never said he was better than DK. But when I watched him do the other night, I was like, "Oh, bro, is solid. Like he's solid for real."
How many Lions games did you watch last year?
Not enough. I'll say that.
That explains that, because St. Brown is going. That boy was hooping. But now the Lions are solid. I think I'm not really worried about the Chiefs once they have Kelce and what's it called back. I think they'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Though their receiving core, I don't like. They used to have Mecole and Juju, and I think they're not like the best receivers, but they're like, I would say they're pretty consistent guys. This year, I don't think they have that guy on their team. unless Justin Ross is going to step up. But I didn't really see him get a lot of play. So I think that's just going to be the weak part of their offense this year. I don't think Patrick Mahomes has anyone besides Tony and Kelsey. So, I mean, that's just going to be interesting to see. All right, next game we had, my man was at this game actually, the Texans versus the Ravens. Coach, speak on your team, man.
Obviously, a win's a win, but I'm gonna say fire Todd Monken. I'm not a fan of Todd Monken, even though we're gonna say it was only one game. The play calls were pretty shitty, I could say. Like, there was a point where we got down to the goal line and he decided to run 3 screens in a row. Not the goal line, but the red zone. And he ran 3 screens in a row. It's nothing wrong with not even running back screens. It was 3 rocket screens in a row. And there's nothing wrong with the calls. It's the fact that there was no creativity in our playbook. With the weapons that we have, it makes no sense. You got Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Obviously, Mark Andrews was absent for that game, but you have Bateman, OBJ, Flowers. Zay Flowers is like that first and foremost, by the way. You got Duvernay. You got guys on the offensive side that can get you an open field. So to do is slight play. It was very Madden-like, I would say, and I didn't like that at all. And I thought with us getting a new coordinator and new guys in the office, it was about that time we we did something different. So it was a disappointment to me and other fans who did leave early, even though we were up. But, hopefully they shake shit up coming out next week. You know what I mean? We got a big game, so.
Well, I wasn't impressed, but I'm not over the Ravens, but I'm not going to overreact about it. They just looked a little rusty, week 1. You're saying you're missing some pieces as well. So I'm not going to overreact to what happened. I was actually, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I was happy to see it. You know what I'm saying? Looked a little, y'all did win. It was the Texans, so I'm not going to, you did what you were supposed to do. But like you said, you weren't impressed and you're a fan. So, that was good for me to see. I was also happy to see CJ out there, running for his life. He had some moments I was like, please don't do that again. But he's learning on the run. He ain't throw no picks, so I was happy to see that. He had his one turnover, the fumble he lost. But outside of that, I was just happy to see him playing and then to see the Ravens not play to their full potential. So that was a win.
I completely forgot to talk about C.J. Stroud. As a rookie quarterback, getting to see him in his debut eye to eye, yeah, I think he has a future. Like, he didn't have a line. He didn't have too much going for him. Like, and he was still able to, I would say, put a pretty good game together. So, like, if you put a team behind that guy, I think he has talent. I won't lie.
Yeah, I was just because I was like, I wouldn't say I was actively watching the game, but like, I was just like checking in every once in a while to check on the Ravens, see how because I want to see how the new offense looked. And I really wanted to see OBJ and Zay Flowers get used. Obviously, Zay Flowers went crazy, but yeah. And then also, I'm very sad that J.K. Dobbins got hurt after asking for a new contract. He scores a touchdown, and then after that, immediately tears his Achilles. I want to say it's going to be a big loss, but I feel like the Ravens' rushing attack just adapts so well that I don't want to say it's like plug and play, but definitely J.K. Dobbins was the best back for them. I mean, it makes him more dangerous, but I mean, we'll see. Like everyone's saying, everyone wasn't impressed with the Ravens' offense, but it was week 1. A lot of teams weren't impressive on offense unless they're like teams that have been together for a while. So, I mean, I'm gonna give it like 2-3 weeks. But after, if it's still looking the same, then yeah, we might have to have a serious talk. But CJ Stroud, the Texans defense, I mean, they're as good as I guess you can expect. They I mean, we already know this is a bad roster, so I'm not expecting much from them, but I'm glad to see that they're not essentially beating themselves. Like it doesn't look like the bad news bears out there. Right. You can see that this team will probably keep building. They'll probably win a few, like Probably win like 5-6 games.
We'll see. Yeah, but it didn't look as bad as we expected.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a shit show.
Yeah,
I thought they would lose by 40.
Me too. I thought it was gonna. Wow, I thought it was gonna be bad. But prayers up to JK, man.
Yeah, prayers to JK. Man, now on to a shit show. One of my favorite quarterbacks. We had the Bengals. We had the Bengals versus the Browns in a tsunami at one point, but that's no excuse, man. Coach K, what you see from that game?
Lots of things. Obviously, the Bengals do usually start the season slow, as I shouted out in my schedule video for those who've seen it, and the hype behind Joe Burrow. Hopefully, it falls soon because that mountain. It's hard to stay on the top. It gets hard to breathe on the top of the mountains if you ain't heard. You know what I'm saying? But that nigga, he has a great team behind him regardless. The line is always some shit. Ain't gotten no better in my eyes. But when you got those receivers, you can't really fucking fail. So if he plays bad throughout the season, I'm still putting it on him. So I was happy to see him lose. I know Zay was happy to see him lose, being that we have a hard division and we think we both can get games out of the Browns. So it was a great thing. And your boy didn't look like a guaranteed contract guy. Deshaun Watson didn't look like a guaranteed contract guy, but he did look like he's starting to get his foot back into the game. It looks like the whispers are going over his head and he's starting to enjoy the game a little bit more. And when you got Amari Cooper as your primary and Nick Chubb taking a lot of the weight with him, it shouldn't be that hard to love the game. He's got to get back to being a leader because that's what the Browns seem to be missing. Somebody that really gets them to that next level because they have talent on both sides of the ball.
Yep. Oh, this was a big game for me this weekend. Like as Coach said, divisional game. So I'm trying to see who can get the upper hand real quick early in the season. So, like you said, we know the Bengals start off slow. Like my Steelers beat them in week 1 last year, but it didn't look this bad. 3 points, divisional game, week 1. I'm concerned for them in a good way because now they just lost one divisional game. They got them one more time. They still got to play us twice, and they got to play the Ravens again twice. So, I mean, they're probably going to still be a good team and win some more games, but that performance made me a little worried. I am a Joe Burrow fan, you know that. And I know he's coming off an injury too. But I've seen Joe just dominate. So I know that he can go out there and do it regardless coming off an injury or not, or at least I believe that he can. So, like I said, his performance alone, I was just a little worried. Nick Chubb, who I think is the best running back in the league, had his typical game. And the Browns just dominated. Y'all see that Buckeye? Denzel Ward was out there doing his thing, playing with confidence. So, I mean, part of me, I don't know. The Browns, they looked good. I'm going to give them credit. And my Buckeye showed off. Like I said, Nick Chubb had a normal game, so I'm not surprised to see it go the way it did, besides how bad the Bengals offense was. Because I know their defense was going to give up some points, but their offense didn't do anything. Like I said, 3 points. My Steelers had a touchdown this weekend, so, I mean, they could have did better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised because I picked the Browns to win this game because, like Coach K was saying, man, Joe Burrow does start off the season. He's shown it for the last 2-3 years that he starts off the season slow. And last year he came off an injury and played probably one of the worst games I've seen him play against the Steelers. Even though TJ Watt was making some amazing plays that week 1.
I like that game. Yep.
TJ and Minka put it on a masterclass. But yeah, Joe looked bad. It just looked bad from all aspects of the game. The Browns started off a little slow too. At one point, I remember they were booing Deshaun, and then Deshaun scored, and then from there on, the Browns were able to pull away from there. So, I mean, I'm hoping to see Deshaun return to form. I know you guys might not be as divisional opponents, but I think that's one of the things I want to see Deshaun do, return back to the form that he used to be at. I don't know if he's going to be able to. I don't know, man. Something just seems off about Deshaun, and I don't know what it is. Like, yeah. I feel like he should be able to.
As a lover of football, I would definitely love to see him get back to form. I would say, as a football guy, I would say distractions and off-field distractions And probably, I think he may have faced some type of depression throughout this because they were attacking him harshly. Like, he could, and not let me not geek out, fans. I am not taking his side. I am not saying that he ain't do nothing wrong. Let me point that out first. Most people are like, oh, this nigga got sympathy for this motherfucker after he was groping him. I'm just saying, Eric niggas got feelings too. You know what I'm saying? But that nigga, he probably just feeling some type of way, and it's something that's just hard. It's been hard for him to get over, and it's affecting his step on in football. He's not, you know what I mean? If you walk in like some type of way when you walk in the streets and you walk in your house and you walk in the grocery store, you're gonna walk that way on the field too. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think as a man he's having that type of confidence, so it's affecting him on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we'll see throughout the season. Joe, I'm not worried about the Bengals. Usually heat up during the middle of the season. Usually rip off like a 6-game win streak. So I won't be concerned unless they're like 1-5 at one point. So I'm not really worried about the Bengals.
Jeez,
I can see like 2-4, 2-3, 2-4.
If they're 2-3, I'm not going to be concerned because at one point during the season they rip off like 6 games in a row.
I got you. You said 1. I got you.
Next game, another surprising result for some. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers came into Minnesota and took a game from the Minnesota Vikings. Coach K, man. Let me know, man. Let me know.
I won't lie. This one definitely surprised me. I had no confidence in Baker at all, not a tad bit. And for him to come out there and get them out the way was outrageous because they actually I want to give a little bit of credit to their defense though, because they definitely like they were shutting down the run in the first half, which kind of helped to control the game. So you know what I mean, they kept their the opponents from, you know what I mean, being able to get anything going. But on the other side, Jimmy looked a lot better than I thought he would, being that we didn't even know if he would be playing week 1. So there's a lot of upside for both teams, I would say. Like Baker being alive for the Bucs and Jimmy actually, you know what I mean, being able to sit in the pocket and make a pass. So like, hey, don't look at me like that. I mean, a lot of people would say Jimmy is a product.
Kirk Cousins plays quarterback for the Vikings.
Oh shit, fried Vikings. Shit. I'm geeking. I don't know where I got Jim. I'm thinking Jimmy Garoppolo and the Raiders. I'm geeking. But the Vikings. But the what's it called? The biggest issue is, I was gonna say that Kirk does what Kirk does best at the end of the game. Which at the end of the day, and I don't know why. I'm gonna say this. I don't know why Justin Jefferson was so upset. When I rewatched a little bit of plays, I didn't really see him create no separation in the second half. I wouldn't say that they striped him, but you can't be upset. Sometimes the plays don't go your way. It wasn't like your team wasn't getting any type of push downfield, but they weren't able to make the plays without you. But you can't show the body language. That kind of affects the team, I would say. From what I know, from being somebody that's played and been on the sideline, if somebody we consider as a star or a leader is on the sideline pouting, my team may not have the confidence in a close game to pull it out.
Nah, yeah, I agree on JJ situation. First of all, first round pick in a fantasy draft, so I loved his performance. I mean, it was enough for me, but it's just the way you go about it. It's just the way you go about it. Maybe there was times where he felt like he should have got the ball, but then again, they still were in the game, you know. So shout out to Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers for finding a way to win. I watched a little bit of it, but watching it on Red Zone, it was good to see Mike Evans had a game he had, because I know they were saying he was dealing with like an injury and stuff. So seeing him go out there and do what he did was pretty cool. And I've always been like a little fan of Baker because I like the heart he play with. I like the fire he play with. So anytime Baker playing well, it's fun to watch. So outside of that, I was shocked. I didn't know I had a Bucs winning, or I didn't think it was going to be close. Thinking the Vikings with JJ and then Jordan Addison, I just thought the offense was going to get it done. Simple as that. But it was a good game. It was a good game, and it was competitive. And shout out to the Bucs.
Yeah. I didn't think I don't want to say the Bucs would be surprising, but like I definitely said last pod that I thought the Bucs could win about 8 games. I think they still have some of their Super Bowl pedigree there. Baker is not. I feel like Baker gets harsher criticism than he deserves. I've always said that, but I feel like they're gonna win. They're gonna win some games. That division doesn't have a hard schedule this year. They have the Bears next. They can easily go 2-0, and things can look up. I mean, all you need is a little bit of momentum in the NFL, and you can rip off a couple of games. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like after the Bears, but I think they can start off the season well, and maybe they're not gonna beat the Saints for the division, but they might be able to sneak into that 7th spot. You never know. Injuries happen. I know the best from that, but injuries happen, and shit happens. Shit might fall the right way. The Vikings, Kirk can't throw a red zone interception late in the 4th to lose the game. Like you said, Zay, it's fun to see Baker play when he's playing with heart and fight. He ran over Brian Murphy, told him to get his weight up. I mean, I don't know how much there is to take away from this game. I mean, this kind of went how I expected it if the Bucs were gonna win this game. But I agree with what y'all said, man. That Justin Jefferson thing, he had about 120 yards the first half. You gotta turn into Tyreek Hill and get another 100 in the second half and will your team to a win. I'm not sure if maybe the play calls weren't going to him, if they weren't scheming him open. You got to get open, or maybe he was just upset that, you know what I'm saying? When you a big time superstar like that, even if I'm covered, just throw me the ball. Like, I don't care. Just throw me the ball.
Maybe like that.
The next game. Oh snap! I lost it, boys. I've lost it, boys. Can't remember what the next game. I found it. All right, next game. The Titans visited the Saints in the Super Bowl dome. Coach K, what you see from that game?
The Saints defense is serious.
They've
been serious the last couple of years, but they kind of like solidified that like we're not nothing to play with. Losing big players like Marcus Williams to us, not even putting a fucking dent in their defense. So it's like, shout out my cousin out there making plays, Isaac, yeah, boy. If y'all were paying attention, if anybody watching, he's the one that hit the tip on the pass for the interception. Yeah, making big plays. So like the defense is looking nice, and obviously the Titans, it's the same old. If you can't pass, you can't play. This game, you can't give the king the ball 40 times and expect to do something serious. It works 4 or 5 times during the season, but it's not going to work every game. And the Saints didn't seem to be like one of the teams that were rocking for it.
Mm-hmm. Facts. First off, I like the Buckeyes. So my boy Marshawn had a good game. He was out there healthy again, so it was good to see him. Michael Thomas, of course, and Chris Olave. So starting off with the Saints, I thought that offense was going. I don't know. I expected a better game from them, but again, that just goes to credit to the Titans. For some reason, the Titans is another team that I just never wanted to give credit to. But whatever. Go ahead.
Zay, can I say you got to remember that Alvin Kamara wasn't there?
Yeah, that's fine. But even without him, Jamal Williams was good enough. I feel like they still could have. Now he's not better. All right. Now he can't do what Alvin can do, but he's good enough to where I thought that offense shouldn't have lost that much of a beat to me. But first game, new quarterback. We getting accustomed to people here nor there. But back to like I was saying though. Where was I at? I was talking about the Saints. Just seeing the offense play the way they were playing. Like I said, it was the first game. It was good to see the Buckeyes out there. But I got to give credit to the Titans. Like I said, the Titans is one of those teams. That's what I was talking about. The Titans are one of those teams that I just never gave credit to. But like you said, their defense was strong. That's the type of team. That's the type of game that they always play. Like you said, if you can't pass, you can't win. But that defense is strong, and Mike Vrabel finds a way to make sure that they compete in every game. So I respect that as a football fan. but like it wasn't surprising that the performance of the Titans put on. I had them losing. I just had them losing by a bigger margin. So I'm gonna give them respect for fighting because there's a couple teams that didn't get to do that week 1.
Yeah, the Titans are always going to be prepared. So anytime a team plays the Titans, I feel like if it's a big spread, Titans cover is always like the best spread to have, unless it's like maybe like the Dolphins, where a team where they absolutely just can't keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, the Titans are always gonna find a way to how do I say this? Muck up the game somehow, make it a dogfight. I want to say I took something away from this game. I really didn't. Obviously, I just feel like the Saints offense really needs to. I mean, they're gonna click eventually. Well, not click, but they'll get it going. They don't really face any superior offenses this year. No one's scary. I think the best quarterback that comes in there is maybe Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback that they play all year.
Easiest schedule in the league.
So I've said this before. I expect them to win like 12 to 13 games this year. That defense is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I feel like the only thing that matters is if the defense can stay healthy. Carr does what he needs to do. He doesn't lose games for them. But I think Carr found the right place for him, especially in season 1 to go to. I feel like this is the optimal spot for him. He has great weapons. He has Olave. Mike Thomas looked good. He has the Sheed guy, Rashid.
Yeah,
he looked all right. And then once Alvin Kamara comes, I mean, things can really start looking up. You got the Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams 1-2 punch. Things are looking up for the Saints, man. Things are definitely looking up for the Saints. I feel like I do say this about the Saints though. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where people are like, they might overhype the Saints because of their record later in the season, and they're not gonna be as good as their record says they are. So I'm just interested to see that with the Saints. The Titans, they're the Titans. I expect them to be in close games. I feel like they'll win like 8 or 9. I'm like
just because they're going to compete.
I mean, we're going to see with DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, you can't throw 3 picks. I believe he threw 3 picks. I know Marshawn Lattimore picked one. I had the Saints defense on fantasy. Yeah, he threw 3 picks. It's nasty.
You do.
It's nasty, bro. Game after that, we have rookie Bryce Young versus. He's not a rookie, but it's like kind of still his rookie year. And Desmond Ridder and the Falcons with their new weapons. Bijan Robinson. Shout out the Longhorns. Hold on, Coach K, you still there, bro? All right, Zay, man, give your opinion on that game, man.
All right. Panthers, Falcons.
I'm here.
Go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead.
I had something going on.
Good.
You good?
I mean, this game, it went the same way I thought it would. The Panthers, the quarterback. I mean, I'm not really a fan of. I would say Bryce Young didn't really play bad, but it was nothing that I saw. I mean, guys, I wasn't there. I got to see CJ Stroud in person. Watching the highlights, he didn't look too good, but Bryce Young didn't really show me nothing through the highlights because this game I did not get to watch much of. He didn't show me too much. It didn't look too good. But the Falcons running back trio, I think, is going to be special this year. I think Kyle Pitts is awake, and I think Drake London will be able to show and display how good his talents are, even though, he did all right last year, but, you can't do much with Marcus Mariota as your quarterback. They don't have much of a better quarterback in what is his name, Ritter, or whatever the fuck his name is, but I got to give him a chance. You can't just throw niggas under the bus. I learned that the hard way with Brock Purdy. So I'll let him get his games in there, and I'll give my judgment on him later on in the season. But the game was practically how I thought it was. My biggest disappointment in the game was Adam Thielen. I thought he'd be a lot better, even though he's coming from injury. I just thought being able to be away from the Vikings would give him this opportunity again, and I was wrong.
He was on the team.
Exactly. So I was very much wrong. So
for me, this is another game that I look at a rookie QB, and I'm not. I'm just trying to see how is he gonna take care of the football. Bryce Young had 2 picks, so You take it how you want. Maybe he was just taking some shots because deficit of the game, whatever the case may be. Unlike CJ, he threw those picks. So I'm gonna just take it with a grain of salt. I don't expect much from the Carolina Panthers. I didn't expect them to win this game. The game kind of went how I expected it to. I just think the Falcons are a better team. Like you saw, their running back room is just they played really well, and Bijan's gonna be a stud. Former Buckeye commit, but that's here nor there. But yeah, we'll get into that later, not on the next episode. But the Falcons did what I thought they were going to do. I think Desmond Ridder is going to be. I don't know. I think he's good. I think he can be an average quarterback in the NFL, and I think he can be good enough for the Falcons to make some shake a little bit with the schedule that they have and the defense that they have now. So we'll see how he progresses throughout the season. I'm not gonna write him off. I have a little confidence in him just from watching him coming through college and all that. But we'll see how that goes. And then for the Panthers, like I said, I didn't expect much.
I thought there's flashes from Bryce Young. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah.
There's flashes from Bryce Young. There's some plays he made, and I'm like, all right, yeah, there's potential. But he made the same mistake twice, and Jesse Bates, one of the better safeties in the league, obviously capitalized on it. And I feel like from the second one, when he threw the second pick to Jesse Bates, that's when the game got out of hand. And you can kind of see it like in his play that his confidence went down. I mean, just learning lessons for the rookie. Ridder, this is a hot take, man. I feel like we're gonna see Taylor Heinicke. We're gonna see Heinicke play. I think eventually in the season we're gonna see him start because the Falcons are low key sneaky. They low key sneaky, man. They got some weapons. Their defense is improved. They can win some games, and I think Heinicke would give them a better pass threat because Kyle Pitts had what 2, 3. He didn't have a lot of targets. Him or Drake London.
Yeah, Drake went 0-0. So
and then you'll have Scordell Patterson come back. You have Bijan and then Algier. That's gonna be a 3-headed monster to deal with. So
Bijan and Algier like that. Already.
I think Heinicke eventually they're gonna have to go to him. I understand why Ridder is playing, but I think they'll eventually have to go to Heinicke because I feel like Heinicke has shown the ability that he can win games in this league, but he's obviously one of the better backups to have. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I do think Heinicke will end up playing this year. Next game we have Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars visiting the Indianapolis Colts. Coach K, take the floor.
I want to say Trevor Lawrence did make some very, very impressive passes in this game. But I do want to say I think James and another guy being our good friend Zach are a little bit overhyped, being that, the Colts defensive backs aren't really the greatest challenge. The defense, like being their front seven and the pressure that they bring is decent, which is a challenge. But they made the Colts look a lot better than we thought they would be. Let's be honest. They gave us hope in the Colts that I didn't have because I thought it would be a dog a dog show. I thought they would run over them, but that's not what happened. So, it eventually happened, but that's not how it looked in the beginning of the game. So, I would say there was a lot of upside for the Colts and Anthony Richardson for sure. They all look decent, but Trevor Lawrence definitely has a chance to be special with a guy like Calvin Ridley on his offense, who does a lot more than I thought. I thought he was just a route runner, but it seems like he has all the intangibles in football too. And obviously Travis Etienne has always been a dog. So it's been a guy that we always knew was a game changer. And so, yeah, they have a chance to be good, and being in a weak division, you can always come out of there. But let's not get too high on the high horse and put them so high on the power ranking where we start putting Trevor Lawrence in the top 3, top 4 quarterback talk. because that's what I see coming soon, and I'm not here for it. It's something about these, like, if they win and look good in college and they look decent in the NFL, they just like, all right, let's keep the hype with them. And I'm not really here for it. You gotta achieve something in the NFL before I give you the hype. Give me an All-Pro or something.
Well, for me, the one thing I took from this game, but like Coach said, I knew Calvin Ridley was good. I know he was a good guy, but that is nice. Calvin Ridley is nice. After a year off, I'm like, what? This man out here. Obviously, he was ready to play, so it was good to see him back out there. But I didn't know he had that in him, so I'm expecting to see that him and Trevor connecting like that a lot more this season. Trevor has the potential to be that. Trevor definitely has the potential to be that in that conversation of the top 5 or whatever you want to make it. But I agree. I agree he's gotta win something though. I'm just saying potential. Like Trevor has the potential. Will it happen? Who knows? But he has the potential for sure.
Trevor better than Tua? My boy Tua, man.
If I had to pick one, I'm going Trevor.
If you had to pick one, cool.
Yeah.
Who you like watching?
I don't. If has Tua been better than him since they've been in the NFL?
I like watching Tua.
Wait. Do you like watching Tua or do you like watching that offense?
I like watching Tua.
No,
I'm a Tua fan.
Because if Trevor Lawrence is throwing to the same receivers, you'd be like, these.
Nah.
Hey, I will say this though.
Tua's a smaller quarterback. He beams. He puts that shit on the money sometimes. The short passes blow me sometimes as well. But
hey man, we're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to Tua.
We're gonna get there. I'm just gonna say this though. I agree though that the Jags kind of the way that they did play this a little, just turn the ball over. Basically, they gave us a little hope in the Colts. The Colts did perform a lot better. Again, I don't like to give them credit. That's one of those teams. But they played, they fought, they didn't get blown out. They competed with a team that most of us thought was gonna blow them out. So and he didn't do nothing, surprise. I've never been high on him anyway, but I just will say I think he learned, like he got that NFL hit. So he took that one hit. So I think he's like, all right, yeah, let me figure this out a little bit because I ain't gonna be able to do this every game. So we'll see where it goes from here. And obviously, then without Jonathan Taylor, for them to put up 21 points was impressive. I like Pittman Jr. People like to forget about him. I like him. He's sneaky. He's sneaky good. So we're gonna see what the Colts do.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson was I feel like a majority of people's best rookie quarterback performer. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, he was pretty impressive to me. And that's maybe because what I've seen when he was at Florida, but like I was impressed by how much growth he's had since Florida last year. He looked pretty accurate. He made the right plays. He wasn't hurting the Colts for sure. Like Zay said, taking way too many hits for unnecessary reasons. Yeah, so hopefully he'll start sliding, or maybe he'll take the Josh Allen way. But that's for later. The Jags, man, the Jags are gonna be nice. The Jags are gonna be good. So not really worried about the Jags. Calvin Ridley, I think we all should have seen this coming. The way other football players, especially other receivers, talk about Calvin Ridley, they always, even before like this season, people always talked about Calvin Ridley being one of those guys. And I was like, I used to be like,
he was in a lot of receivers. Like if you watch podcasts and stuff, he was a lot of receivers, top 5, like current receivers. And I was like, the nigga's not even playing. Like, what are you talking about? He's played 1 or 2 seasons. Like, what are y'all? How is he in your top 5? Like we just had Jamar and Justin come in the league. Like, who's top 5? I was like, now I can see where they're coming from with it, because to me, like, it comes with more than just running a route and catching the ball. I mean, the way you block, the way you talk to your teammates. I ain't gonna lie, he plays football. You know what I'm saying? And like that shit's it's a bit different. I want to see if he can take the Jags to the next level.
Yeah, they got him, Zay Jones, Travis. I mean, Doug Peterson, him and Trevor Lawrence in the second year. I'm getting a little teary-eyed, man. This shit's gonna be special. Especially talking about tears, man. Zay, you're gonna have the floor first, man. The 49ers absolutely dog walk the Steelers I'm gonna still call it Heinz Field, but
Oh man.
man.
Yeah, let's get this out the way real quick.
Don't make it quick.
Huh? Oh, it's gonna be real quick. Only thing I'm surprised about in that game was the lack of, I don't know. We don't usually go like that. Simple as that. Pittsburgh's not a team that lays down for anybody. And I know, and like I said, we laid down. I will say I'm fortunate that we scored this week. I'm fortunate we weren't the lowest scoring offense in the league in week 1. I'm fortunate, but Matt Canada, count your days. It's time. It's time. It's time. All this time we're sitting thinking it's personnel reasons we don't have this on offense. Our whole line's bad, whatever. I just think we just need a new play caller. Simple as that. Defensively, it was great to see TJ Watt back out there. I watched a lot of our post-game interviews in the locker room. You could tell we were defeated. A lot of guys just kept saying we beat ourselves, just wasn't executing. And that's week 1. So I hate to hear that, being that it seems like we just weren't ready to play at home week 1 against a great opponent for us to show what we got. But we missed that opportunity. But Pittsburgh is a team that doesn't do that often. So that was the one time we missed an opportunity to play well. It's cool. I got faith in my offense and Kenny Pickett. I've seen him win in late games. I've seen him win in big games for me. We just went 5-0 to end the season last year. So he showed me that in crunch time, he can will us to a win or find us the way to win. I just think the 49ers came and punched us in the mouth, and that defense was crazy. Shout out my boy Cleveland Farrell. But the defense was crazy. Fred Warner was crazy. As a fan of football, the 49ers was just – it was beautiful to watch as a fan of football. But on the back end, I'm hot because this is my football team. So for everybody that's surprised that the Niners played that well, I don't understand it because from what I know, the last 3-4 years, the Niners has been a superior football team. And now I'll say for superior, they've just been at the top of the league. 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever you want to put them. So I wasn't surprised that they were that dominant. I just was surprised at the effort of my football team. But I don't plan on seeing that too much more this season. The floor is yours.
I'm going to say this. I do not agree with you at all. We're complete reverse in the sense of why the Steelers aren't working. You think Kenny Pickett is good enough. He's not good enough. There is Joe Burrow. There is Lamar Jackson. There is Deshaun Watson. You can't give Kenny Pickett a fucking full guaranteed in a division with those quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett is not good enough to play football in the AFC North.
But
that is the realization you're going to have to wake up to at some point. Whether Matt Canada is not the best play caller, Kenny Pickett himself is not good enough to play in the AFC North. And his mechanics show. I had somebody tell me he's just as good as a quarterback as Lamar Jackson. And I sat there and watched him untouched in the pocket, throw passes behind his receivers and tight ends.
I mean,
it may be the fucking gloves.
But you've definitely seen Lamar do that too.
I mean, I've seen Lamar not sitting in a pocket. Fuck no. On the run, moving around. Yeah, he's fucked up.
You've never seen Lamar.
He's missed a wide open guy or two. Yeah, but I'm talking about we see him, he throw the pass, and it's just not. Nah, Lamar's if it's just a pick play. No, that's not Lamar to miss those passes. No, we're not gonna do that to him. We're not gonna do that to him. And we can sit together seat by seat one day and watch film together. I like to do that with a lot of people and watch film, because I understand his feet make you not see how amazing passes he can make. I mean, he do run the ball when there is wide open people downfield, but when you got feet like that, you would do the same.
I'm about to say, just be broad, because I for a fact know we can find some film of Lamar underthrowing a receiver not untouched in the pocket. It happens, is what I'm saying. So
but it does happen, but it not as much as it happens for Kenny Pickett. I watch a lot of AFC North football, and I would say for me personally, come on, bro. If you've been a Steelers fan for as long as I've been a Ravens fan, we can say this, bro. We've seen superior quarterbacks and we've seen shitty quarterbacks. And let's say this: to win the Super Bowl out of the AFC North, you got to have a pretty good quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had guys like Carson Palmer people are gonna forget about in 5-7 years. They're gonna act like he was never even there, and he was, to me, even pretty good. So you think a guy like Kenny Pickett can take you somewhere in the AFC North?
I do, because I've seen him when he finally got the keys last year. When he finally got the keys, Kenny showed me that he can win a game. And I don't need much from him. You're talking about I understand he's not the most talented quarterback in this division. That's my disadvantage. I have the most important position. I have the worst quarterback in my division. I get that. But, if you know anything, our division ran off of defense. And that's what I got. And that's what I got. So at the end of the day, Kenny has showed me if my defense is going to show up, you know what I'm saying? He can do what he needs to do to win us those couple of games. Now, it didn't work in week one. Cool. But to tell me that he's not good enough when I watched him win divisional games last year to give us a chance to go to the
win
playoffs.
Divisional games.
Yeah, to win divisional games, to give us a chance to go to the playoffs.
He's talking about the Browns game like shit.
My point is this: he did it, and we were down in some of those games. Like,
hey, James, you remember we was at Harry Potter night?
2 minute drills. Kenny Pickett.
Don't remind me of that night.
It was Pat Freiermouth that did.
Don't remind me of that night. I thought I won a parlay. And
I crushed them that night.
The fucking Steelers
I crushed them.
Returned a fucking touchdown at the end.
They definitely y'all made me some bread that day. So I'm not gonna act like I know exactly what you mean, but like
I can see if you don't see it, cool. But to say he's not good enough, I don't
think he has the X factor. I think his ceiling is Ryan Tannehill. It's Matt Schaub.
And I also say this: that's fine. That's how you feel about him as a quarterback. That's fine, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a Kenny fan, but I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect him like that. But I'll say this: he's not gonna make us. We're not gonna be any worse than we've been. So that's what I was.
This nigga said Matt Schaub.
I'm not even entertaining that.
Nigga, he went into his bag for that. Nigga,
that's divisional hate right there. I'm not going for
that. Wait.
He jumped into that Louis bag for that hate.
Like, I'm not.
Yeah, like I ain't say David Carr now.
Oh my god,
he has not played like Kenny. That was like Kenny's legit. Like outside of that Eagles game, like
niggas don't talk about Matt Schaub. Hey man,
that's crazy.
Go ahead,
yeah. Go ahead, James.
I think the biggest concern for the Steelers. Listen, I say throw the game tape away, man. The 49ers clearly.
Wait, I didn't even get to talk about the 49ers.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to talk about them?
I missed some too. My bad. I missed some.
I do want to talk about the 49ers. I want to say, like, I did apologize for Brock Purdy, but I'm sitting on that he's still a product of his environment. Whereas if he makes the right plays, obviously his big playmakers make him look a lot more special than guys like Jalen Hurts, Tua, even Joe Burrow, I would say. I don't think he's making those amazing passes that I see out of those guys. Personally. Not even just passes, plays. Whereas if even Jalen Hurts himself can be a creative playmaker. Don't fucking roll your eyes. You know what I'm saying? But
I said okay.
Just particularly, that's how I think. I mean, I did see him make a couple of plays like there was a whip out on Minka. It was fucking spectacular. And that pass to Ayuk, I would say I'm in the middle about that. I say it could be a great pass, but it could also be a terrible pass. It was a great pass because he trusted his receiver and thought his receiver was better than Patrick being that he was cooking him all fucking day. But it was a terrible pass because if Patrick Peterson is the legend he was supposed to be, he should have picked that motherfucker off.
Last thing, James. Pat P, count your fucking days, buddy. Count your days. I dare you. Come to this organization. You popping crazy. You told him you was gonna catch a pick. You told he was gonna catch a pick because something you did watching film. Buddy, he got scored on twice.
Immediately.
Brandon Ayuk cooked you. You supposed to be legendary. Another thing, I didn't hear Joey Porter Jr. name enough. That's here nor there. But Pat, get it right. Was willing to do that over here. And prayers to my boy Cameron Hayward. He got hurt. My other Buckeye, he got hurt in the game too. But Pat P, count your days, boy. Because if that's gonna happen to you with Brandon Ayuk, buddy, do you know who we got in this division? Like, it's gonna get bad for you. So you need to cut it now. He shouldn't have came. I seen a meme was like he was gonna go come out at halftime. He was gonna retire at halftime. Shit, he might have needed to because it's gonna get bad for him if this is how he's gonna play this season.
Who was the DB that did that shit? I'm done.
Somebody for the Bills.
Oh man, who was that? It was from the Bills, wasn't it?
Bills, bro. That's
It
all
was
I know.
it was
No,
a nice
that's-
nigga.
that's
too.
Might have been a
It was a
linebacker.
nice
I don't
nigga.
remember who it was, but
He was
a
like,
nice nigga.
yeah, he was like, I'm done.
He's like, yeah, I came out there. Them young niggas was just. He made a tough. He literally made a stop. He made a stop at the end of the quarter type shit. He was like, yeah, them young niggas just different now.
when watching Taxi, I think about Sherman. Like Richard Sherman said when he went. Who Richard Sherman said he went against? And he was like, yeah, I had to second guess this because these boys are different now. Pat P, I think he realized and like, whoa, I might have should have just called it because that Brandon Ayuk.
He hit him with a crazy.
Man,
He hit him with the in the. I said, God damn.
I feel bad. I got that off my chest. Go ahead, James.
Hey man, Patrick P, man. That's what I was gonna say, man. We can throw the tape away for the Steelers. That's one of those joints you gotta look at. You'd be like, listen, we just ran into a superior football team, man. We look bad, man. We're gonna move on to the Browns. Like, there's no point of what are we watching the tape for? There's nothing to learn. I don't think there's anything to learn from that tape.
I'm on the couch.
Jesus Christ, Patrick Peterson. That's the biggest takeaway from that game. Brock Purdy and the 49ers look like Brock Purdy and the 49ers. He's 9-0 when he starts and finishes the game. Nothing else to say. Nick Bosa and the defense, they hawking.
Another thing. The Buckeyes is all through this pod episode. That's all
I don't know.
That's all
They got Hargrave too now. Them boys is nice. Them boys is nice, man. And I thought their defense might take a drop off with I don't know why it's slipping me. I gotta stop drinking during these episodes. What's the Texans head coach name? DeMarco Ryan. Yeah. There we go. Thank you. I thought maybe they won't be as good, but them boys locked in.
Culture. It's the culture.
Them boys got it, man. Fred Warner leading the way, man. It's too much. It's too much. And then they got the defensive player of the year. It's too much, bro. So the 49ers split. I don't know who the 49ers split the Seahawks next week. So I mean, it's just getting worse for the Seahawks. Moving on though, we had the Cardinals versus the Commanders. I wish we had Quack here, but we don't. But Coach K, if you talk to Quack, what did he say? What did you see from the game? Give us all the tea.
We'll say we both agree that the Commanders were a bit disappointing. We thought they had they have too much weapons to have came out and looked so lackluster. Upside, a win's a win. You know what I mean? A win's a win. And the Cardinals defense played a lot better than a lot of people thought they could. They were balls to the wall, as they say. No homo. You know what I mean? But yeah, they played a lot better than we thought they could, and the rest of them I don't think got a chance to open up their playbook in week 1. So I want to see what they got for us because they definitely have a promising roster in my eyes. They don't have the biggest names, but you know what I mean, they have the Lego pieces that build a nice big, you know what I mean, trapezoid or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, so hopefully the Redskins do something. The Commanders do something going forward, you know what I'm saying? And they make a contention for the wild card because the NFC East obviously does a little something with sending extra teams. And the NFC is very weak this year, as we all know. But it's not much. The Cardinals are the worst team in football, and for them to be fighting with you doesn't really give you much of an uplook if you didn't beat them by a lot. So,
hey, for me though, is those haters can't stand us. Left-hander. Who are we? The Commanders. I'm low-key a Commanders fan. I'm just gonna chalk it up this week. I'm just gonna chalk it up to the fact that they played down to their competition. Like I said, nobody's expecting anything from the Cardinals this year. No Kyler Murray. We're expecting them to have the worst record in the league. Probably had a first overall pick. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to that. That's not okay because they're professionals. So at the end of the day, none of that should really matter. But like I said, week 1, just trying to make sure nobody get through with no injuries and everybody just make it safe. So 4-point win was a little concerning, but we just gonna, like you said, on to the next one. Shout out Emmanuel Forbes. Listen, Emmanuel Forbes, the Bulldog, the Mississippi State Bulldog. That boy looked nice out there. Like, I didn't know he was gonna look that smooth week 1. I was happy to see it though, and I'm a big Sam Howell fan. I think Sam's gonna compete over there. I'm not saying he's gonna win the division or make the playoffs, but I feel like a lot of their games are gonna be like this. Those 20 to 30 range, just kind of sneaking one in, 20 to 25 range, I mean. And then, of course, like I said, my Buckeyes, Terry McLaurin, he didn't have his best game, but at least he was out there. He was coming off injury from that turf toe he got in the preseason. So I'm just glad to see him back out there. And the last thing I'm going to say, though, my boy, Chase Young, I don't know what's going on with Chase, but prayers to him because I would believe that him
prayers to him. Prayers.
This because he wasn't playing. So I'm like,
no, but I'm saying, what is the prayers that like? What is it? What type of prayers are you sending? Is it prayers to his mentality to get it back on the field? Is it prayers to his leg? Is it prayers to?
I'm not questioning his mentality, so I'm just hoping that whatever's going on is something serious and he's taking care of it. That's what I think.
I'm not at liberty to talk about the nuances I believe are the issues and Chase Young's, whatever he got going on. But I've had my stance on him if you've seen the videos from the past, Zay. Chase Young is not somebody you're allowed to talk about on this pod unless you ask me to talk about Chase Young.
Well, like I said,
Chase ain't the guy. I don't want to drag him. Make me drag Chase.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna go for that. As a Buckeye fan, I ain't gonna go for that. So I'm assuming whatever's going on with Chase is getting taken care of. So we're gonna play football.
I don't see the heart. That's what he needs. He needs you to pray for his heart.
I ain't going.
That's what you need.
You, James. I'm not.
That boy look real healthy. He look real healthy.
Man,
he be looking real healthy. I'm gonna say.
Man, they said that Chase Young had a stinger. A damn stinger, bro. But all these motherfuckers playing week 1, and this nigga's out with a goddamn stinger.
So you think he decided not to play? That's what we're getting at. He decided not to play.
Where was he last year when he was healthy? When he got healthy enough? Like he don't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, James. You think
he's not giving me?
He decided not to play football.
He's not giving me. Yeah, he's not giving me the. I want to be out there. I want to be out there.
I don't believe it's his choice right now.
He's supposed to be Micah Parsons. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be Michael Parsons.
I don't believe that is his choice of him not playing. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, bro.
I think if he was ready to play, he would be out there. If he was,
then he need to fake it. He need to act like he good then. How can anyone tell you have a stinger? You can't.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's a good point, Zay. That's good. You play football?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
You can get a stinger in basketball.
I play rec league.
You gotta with equipment. You gotta report the stinger.
That's what
hit. They don't hit. We don't hit in practice. We don't hit in practice.
That's my point.
We don't hit in practice.
That's my point. Is what I'm saying.
It's game week. We don't hit in practice.
My point is
stay off the ground.
My point is obviously it's something where he's like he can't play football. That's what I'm saying. Whatever he's reporting or whatever's going on.
I don't think he likes football. That's my point. I don't think he loves the game.
That's fine. I'm not here to question anybody's love for the game. That's why I'm saying whatever he's
love this shit, man. Like I love this shit, man. I love this shit. That nigga don't love this shit, man. And it's niggas like that make the league that piss me off, man.
Give me that nigga's body, dog. Like I swear to God, y'all niggas talking crazy. I'm in the crib. I ain't gonna talk about like, oh no homo.
CJ. Anyway.
Hey, you over there, chill out in that corner.
10 years from now, we're gonna hear about all the injuries he had. You like, damn, bro, I ain't know. Because we over here just like, oh, this
10 years. Nigga, he about to be out the league.
Yeah, he's gonna be on podcast again. He's gonna be talking about it. Exactly.
Nigga, he's not Lonzo Ball, nigga.
And you think I'm gonna hey Zay, you think I'm gonna apologize?
No, you can have your opinion, but I'm telling you, I'm not here to question anything that you're thinking about him, because that's just your opinion on some shit you think you know. I don't know. I don't think he's just sitting out because he choosing to. I don't believe that.
Oh man. But like I was saying, man, I don't think there's really much to take away from this game. Well, I mean, there is stuff to take away from this game, but as a football fan, I'm not taking much away from this game. I wasn't expecting the Cardinals to do much. I wasn't expecting the Commanders to do much. I want to see Sam Howell play well, but not his best start. I think he held the ball too much. Cardinals defense did play better than I expected. I was a little bit confused because they're supposed to tank. I mean, they're not going to say they're going to tank, but I'm like, why? I was looking at my parlay. I'm like, all right, like, why are they trying to win the first game of the season?
You can't play games to lose. You can put your team in the position to lose, but you can't play games to lose. That's illegal.
I know, but I was just
that's
like,
the legal. They got them what's it called? Private investigators that gonna pull up to your door.
I understand that, but it's just like, all right, bro. Like the Commanders put the absolute worst team they could put out there, besides putting a kicker at fucking quarterback, bro. Come on, bro. Like, and they came back and won, so I'm excited. I was excited to see that for my bankroll, I should say. On to the 425 games. We have. I got it out the field. Fuck Russell. The Broncos at home against the Raiders.
Here we go, Jimmy. Here go my boy Jimmy Garoppolo.
There we go.
Here we go. So Jimmy, like I was saying, didn't look as bad as I thought he did. I thought he would. You know what I mean? Going against a defense who obviously has played good year in, year out. What's it called? They weren't able to run the ball like they wanted to. Or so I would say. Josh Jacobs did end up with like a good amount of yards, but if you were watching the game, it wasn't like they were running the ball on their time. Like when they wanted to get the ball downfield off of running the ball, it wasn't really working. Passing game, short game looked good. Per usual, obviously Jimmy Garoppolo's a short field type of guy, but I think the Raiders have a chance to. I don't think they're a playoff team this year, but I do think they have a chance to contend in their division, I would say, and not to win the division, but to be like a top 2 team in the division. So that'd be all right on their look, being that they not lost their quarterback, but they're having like a lot of dysfunction going on in their office and whatnot. And the Broncos on the other side, I'm 100% with my boy AB. Yeah, as crazy as that motherfucker is, he hit that bitch on the money. Hey, bro. No offense to Russell, but it's just not. It's not looking like football is him anymore. Like, go be a good dad. It's okay to be a dad and a wife. I mean, I said dad and a wife, a dad and a father. My bad. It's okay to just be a dad. I'm off the Patron, man. Chill out. It's okay to be a dad and a father. You know what I mean? Taking care of future Junior, doing a very good job at that. So like, it's okay to just do that, and it doesn't look like he has like I was talking about, the love for the game, like that you have to show, and for your locker room to have your back and be with you. It doesn't look like he has that. And Sean Payton, bro, I've never been a fan of Sean Payton. I never really like AB said, he lucked up on Super Bowl, and everybody think he's actually a good coach. Nah, bro, Sean Payton is not that good. He's tricked so much great talented rosters. So like, Sean Payton is definitely not the answer for the Broncos. Like they definitely should have went a different way. It's gonna be a shit show for them this year, for sure. Per usual, they're gonna definitely fight because they have talent on their team on both sides of the field. But it'll be a shit show because they won't win games.
Yeah. So for me, I had the Broncos winning this game. But obviously we said it didn't happen. And to be honest with you, like I said, I kind of. Before the game, I was rooting for Russ. Like, I want to see Russ win because everybody doesn't want to see him win. So I was one of those people like, I hope Russ come back, this year, fresh start. All the excuses they gave for him. All right, cool. Week 1, let's get right back to it. You got the Raiders. Let's see how you act. And it just wasn't that impressive. So I just think that there was that phase, and you follow me here because I feel like this happens with all the smaller QBs, I guess. That phase when, like, they're stellar, and Russ had his stays those few years. And Seattle, where he was just really good. Then he just kind of fanned out. What? He wasn't really good.
He was good for 10 years.
I got you.
But that's not a phase.
Okay, so
that's a prime.
It's a prime. He had his 10-year run. That's fine. Give him credit. He had his 10-year run. Now he's on the back end of it. And that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, okay, you're declining now. Okay, like you said, he had a 10-year run where he was really good. Cool. Now, like, you on the back end, that's fine. It just comes to a point where he has to realize that. And I'm still rooting for him, but I just wasn't too impressed from that performance. I know he didn't have Jared Jeudy. Jared Jeudy's probably my favorite player on that team. We'll see what he does when he come back. Hopefully, he brings a little spark to the team because I think he's pretty a good receiver. But I know he got injured last year as well. And then on to the Raiders. Fuck them, for real. But I'm gonna get Jimmy, man. Jimmy just, I don't know. He played all right, right? He played good, bro. He played good.
What's your beef with the Raiders?
Huh?
What's your beef with the Raiders?
Oh, that's some chat stuff. It's just some fans, man. The fans, it's the fans for me, bro. It's just the fans, bro. It's the fans. They think they're better than the Steelers, and they're not. But anyway, give Jimmy his credit. I didn't like to for some reason. Jimmy just one of those guys. I had those teams I don't want to give credit to, and I have players, and Jimmy just one of those guys. Like, he not like that, but Jimmy's straight, bro. He not. You give him his little credit, man. So I watched a little bit of the game. I wasn't too fond of it. I just wanted to see what Russ was going to do, and he didn't live up to my expectations. So, like I said, he's on the back end, and hopefully he figures that out soon.
Yeah. Broncos, man. I was actually a little disappointed in the Broncos defense because the Broncos defense last year was holding people to like 10 points a game. And I'm not saying that's like realistic in this NFL to hold people to like 10 points a game, but I thought that they 17 points is not a lot of points, but it's just like I felt like they would play a little better. I don't know how to explain it. I just thought they would play better against the Raiders. Same. And listen, man, Jimmy G's a winner. I don't know how he does it, but he wins. And him and Josh McDaniels, I don't think they've ever lost a game together going back to their Patriots days. So, I mean, they're just made for each other. Two mid people. Let me not say they're mid. They're above average, but people disrespect them. Because Jimmy G is not the worst guy. Like, he's a starter, but it's not. He's just like someone. It's just like oh, okay, we got Jimmy G. Like,
cool, yeah.
He's only going to be as good as the team around him, and we have a lot of quarterbacks like that. I guess you really shouldn't complain about shit like that. I would know the best. Like, as long as you have a quarter, like I haven't had a quarterback like that. I thought I had one this year that was going to take me above the X's and O's, but yeah, that's all I got to say about that game. Next game of the week, man. Me and Quadio probably have a lot to say about this, man. Tua Tagovailoa, 466 yards, by the way, against the social media star Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Coach K, man, you're big on you have polarizing opinions about these two quarterbacks, man. So I definitely want you to go first.
I would say this. I wouldn't say that I'm not big on Justin Herbert. I do think Justin Herbert has talent, but as I've said in this episode and all our fucking pods, you got to do something before I give you this little, oh, you're that guy. Justin Herbert ain't this shit. He ain't showed us that he can do shit, and yet again loses the clutch game. I'm not gonna say it's his fault, but y'all got to learn how to fucking run the clock. The Chargers keep losing games because you're leaving too much time on the clock or you're not doing the right thing at the end of a game. That's on the fucking quarterback and the coach. Again, I'm not gonna lie, like they like to say, oh, these guys that play the sport like this act like they know more. Yeah. When you're on the sideline or you're in the game and we're clocking things, that is on the quarterback and the coach. You know what I'm saying? And when we leave too much for a team that's obviously been hitting on every fucking cylinder, what do you expect to happen? We gave them the opportunity to come back downfield and do something else. So I wasn't too high on how the Chargers game plan, but obviously they're special with the talent they have. Austin Eckler came in the season doing the same shit he does. Justin Herbert making plays to Keenan Allen. But Tua, he's top 10. I don't know where in the top 10. He's top 10 for sure.
Already? Off one game?
He's top 10, bro. 400 yards in the first 3 games every year. What are you talking about? Tua put them shits up. That nigga got some fucking cannon on that arm, bro. He got firepower. Won't lie to you, bro. I really do love watching him play. As crazy as it sounds, it reminds me a lot of the guy that we were just talking about, Russell Wilson.
He do remind me of Russell Wilson in
his prime. A prime Russell Wilson, but with a better Tyler Lockett being a Tyreek Hill and a way better Doug Baldwin and a fucking Jalen Waddle. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the remnants of the offense that I see. Like, it looks so crazy. So, like, I really did love to see them. You think the team go put 30-plus points if Jalen Ramsey was out there with them too? Like, we're still missing big key components on that defense that make plays and scare quarterbacks. So I'm really happy to see the Dolphins were able to fight out of that game. I think Tua is going to be able to prove you guys, or not you guys, but a lot of the haters wrong if he's able to stay healthy. A lot of people wanted him to retire from football, thought he should call it quits last year after the injuries, and already thought he had such a subpar arm that he couldn't be a quarterback, like a starting quarterback. So I'm happy he's shutting the mouths up and people are sitting here and waiting to watch and to see the greatness that Coach K and Jaimito seen in the boy before. And I think the debate for Tua and Jalen Hurts is still in the fucking air.
It's alive, nigga. It's very much alive, nigga.
It's alive.
Yeah, we alive, nigga.
It's alive.
We might have been hurt last year, but listen,
the Eagles are better than the Dolphins, but Tua is better than Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
I'm still on that, man.
I have no opinion on that.
Nick Saban saw it first, nigga.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. That's all I got to say about that. But this was a fun game to watch. 2 teams just going at it. It was pretty fun to watch, like you said. But you're right though. Like, now that I think back, the Chargers are always losing when it comes to that clock. Something about that clock they just can't get right with. So I think that's a good team. So I hate to see good teams be subpar in areas like that. So I hope that the Chargers figure it out, because they can't keep wasting games like by that. They can't keep losing like that. It's going to eventually, like it's been doing, it's going to, you know what I'm saying, hurt them. Austin Eckler, real dude. Austin Eckler, real dude. Like, real. Him and Calvin really showed me a lot week 1. And for whatever reason it was, I just wasn't high at Eckler. I know he was good. Like, I know who he was, but I'm talking about top running backs. He's probably somebody I would forget. This is me personally. But after this week, I said, oh yeah, I see why he was the top running back for fantasy. I see why everybody was high on him just off of just.
He's a touchdown hoarder.
Yeah, but and even outside of that, he was playing football. That's what you say. He's playing football. So I was gonna leave it at that. And Tua, just for Miami and what they did, Tyreek Hill, cheetah. Like, man, listen. 2K, the other night, James, we had this conversation on the Xbox. The 2K is definitely, I'm like, ain't no way. But then I thought about it. I'm like, bro, if anybody gonna do it, it's gonna be him.
Listen, if Tua doesn't get hurt last year, he gets 2K easily.
I got you. And also, I just like the free form of football that you get to play with Tyreek Hill. Because sometimes I'm pretty sure this happens. That man just be running. He just run. And then he just chuck it. He gonna be down there somewhere. Sometimes it don't work. Sometimes it do. And it's fun to watch when it does work. So they were excited to see. And I'm excited to see the Dolphins and the Chargers go out through the season, see how they progress. But definitely not the Chargers. Definitely the Dolphins when they get Jalen Ramsey out there. I'm interested to see how that team's gonna look.
Yeah, 2 of the more exciting teams to watch this year. I think the only bad thing to take away from the Dolphins this game is that Chargers were running all over them. Like, Austin Eckler was going off. Obviously the Chargers, Justin Herbert has a chance to have a big moment. Comes up short again. The defensive line for the Dolphins tees off on him in the last drive.
They did. They sure did.
I don't know, but Justin Herbert didn't show up. Tua and then Justin Herbert needed to score a touchdown. You have to put the game out of reach on his final drive, the drive before Tua got the ball last. Well, the drive before Tua had the game-winning touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He needed to score a touchdown. Once he didn't score a touchdown, I knew that Tua and them were going to win the game. I texted in the chat, and I said, Tua go win this game, and that's exactly what he did. Had 2 beautiful throws, steps up in the pocket, throws a dime to Tyreek Hill about 30, 40 yards down the field, and then he throws a fade to Tyreek Hill right over the defender's ear, right into the breadbasket. And man, Tua, if Trevor Lawrence didn't have that one pass where he threw it right in between 2 defenders, that would have been the best pass I've seen
Trevor.
But I'm gonna give Tua number 1 because it was a game-winning pass.
That shit was crazy.
I
didn't know if he did that on purpose.
That was a dot. Jesus.
To be honest, let's be real, bro. He didn't see one of those players. He definitely was like, oh shit. And I mean, and Calvin really just has like, that's what I'm talking about. Like the focus you gotta have to catch that is insane. Because he made it seem like it was playing because he caught it in rhythm, kept going. I was like, oh. Yeah, so back to you, James.
All right. Yeah, that was it. That's all I had to say about that game. Austin Eckler is hurt. And I feel like this is every year with the fucking Chargers that someone gets hurt. And the Chargers would be the most cursed team until we talk about the most cursed team actually in the NFL later. We had the Eagles against the Patriots.
We're the most cursed team. It is not y'all. Y'all suck.
No. Okay.
Let's look at the IR for the last 3
weeks. Hold on. We're an hour and 20 in, bro.
Let's look at the IR for the last 3
We need to push.
Y'all just
bro.
Niggas have one unlucky thing. One unlucky thing happened, and all of a sudden they curse.
The most unluckiest thing that could ever happen. Imagine losing Lamar in 4 snaps.
I've lost Lamar 2 years.
You would have cried. You wouldn't even be on this pod. You would still be crying.
You lost a 30-year. Everybody, look, not everybody, but a lot of people already had it in their head. About 30% of the fans and like that watch NFL thought he was gonna get hurt anyway.
Okay, imagine that you've had Huntley for the last 15 years, like a Huntley type player, and you finally get Lamar Jackson. And then 4 snaps in.
Wait.
4 snaps in.
Cal Bowler. Tyler Huntley.
Nigga, I had Ryan Fitzpatrick, Geno Smith, Mark Sanchez.
Wait, all of those players are better than Kyle Bowler.
No, what are you talking about? You had Joe Flacco.
Who was the starting quarterback before Joe Flacco?
You had Joe Flacco.
Who was the starting quarterback before Joe Flacco?
I'm talking about the last 10 to 15 years. What have you had? Last 20 years. If I really want to get in my bag, we can go to the last 20 years. Pennington didn't make it.
That's the only 2.
Pennington didn't make it. Pennington, I thought
we had Kyle Bowler and we had.
That's what I knew. That's what I knew when I was
Joe
young.
Flacco. Now
when I was young, when Pennington got hurt, that's how I should have known that we was never meant to have shit.
Did Mark Sanchez not take y'all to the playoffs?
He did.
So what the fuck? Because name him like he was so tired.
Then what? Then he's butt fumbling. Once the defense got a little worse, all of a sudden Mark Sanchez's true colors started coming out. That was ridiculous, man. Mark Sanchez did what Zach Wilson need. No, you know what? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. The Eagles versus the Patriots, man. On Tom Brady's retirement night, what did y'all see?
Obviously, Belichick is still the defensive mastermind that we've known him to be. I like how he moved his weapons around on defense and did a lot of different things, being like corner blitzes and moving his down linemen up and stuff like that. It was a lot of amazing things going on with their defense. So they were able to fight throughout that game, obviously, until the Eagles do what the Eagles do. Whereas that offense starts to get active. It's not now that, you know what I mean, this last season is over, people are starting to notice that it's obviously not a Jalen Hurts thing. It's a well-oiled machine thing. Sirianni is somewhat of a genius, switching up his system just that tad bit to make Jalen Hurts fit. It just worked that much for him. So they have too much weapons. Kenneth Gainwell looked very good as their downhill running back. Swift was, I don't even know where Swift was. I don't know where that nigga was. But you know what I mean. You got weapons, so they got a chance again to be fucking contenders, being in that weak ass fucking NFC. Goddamn, and I don't got time for these Eagles fans. Shit, but you know what I mean. They covered, so that's all that matters to me. I had the 4-point spread.
Well, for me, this was another
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
This is another game for me. I feel like just week one, the Eagles kind of just played out into their competition. Just another one of those games, which was competitive. I talked to my Eagles fans. He told me it was going to be close. My boy Tyreek did say it was going to be probably a tough close win. So he gave him respect. So already coming into the week, I was looking into the game like, all right, so let's see. I want to give I see Matt Jones threw for 54 passes. I didn't know that, but Woody had about 300 yards. So I'm like, okay, Matt.
Not a fan. Not
a
fan.
Matt Jones did a little something, especially without having, I guess Juju is going to be his number one. So not having Juju. And if y'all haven't noticed the trend for me, I'm just giving credit to good quarterback play because I didn't really have that in week one. So all these other guys that kind of played decent, I want to give them credit. So credit to Mac Jones for just competing against the Eagles. And obviously most people probably didn't think he would, or the casual fan probably did they was going to get killed. So, and being a Patriots fan, I mean, being at the Patriots home field, like you said, it was Tom Brady's retirement game, or his jersey retirement. So it was good to see them compete because that would have been sad because I like Tom. So it would have been sad for him to go there with that and they had a terrible performance. So just a good thing that they didn't get beat up on. And the Eagles, they're going to be fine. I don't know. They're going to be fine. Like I said, it was just week one. I feel like they play down to competition. I still think they're one of the superior teams in the NFC. Of course, like you said, because it's week, it's only a couple of them anyway. So they're going to be up there. But like I said, it's just week one. So I expect them to pick it up as we go forward.
Yeah, man. I came away with this game more impressed from the Patriots, obviously. They were down big in the sense that they were playing like a superior team, one of the looked at as the top 3 teams in the NFL. So being down 16-0 early, pick six, Smitty scores, the game could have got away from them, and they brought it close. And if I don't know if it was Bourne or someone else that did not drag their foot on that 4th and 6.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
The Patriots very well could have won that game because they were clicking in the second half.
That was sad. There was so much green behind him. Like he literally just stepped back.
Yeah, he must have thought he was in college. But yeah, man, I wish he would have drug that foot because I wanted to see what would have happened. And
not me.
Jalen Hurts did not look good. Jalen Hurts did not look good. I was expecting him to look a lot better. We're gonna see though. So Jalen and the Eagles don't have an easy schedule this year, so it's just gonna be interesting to see. I'm glad Mac Jones actually has an offensive coordinator. I'm expecting him to look like he did his rookie year and improve on that because last year was just a wash with Matt Patricia calling the plays. Moving on. What did I have next? Oh. The Green Bay Packers smoke the Bears in Soldier Field. Unfortunately, Trey could not get on. He tried to get on, so I can talk to him. But I'm gonna talk to you through this camera, nigga. Because I fucking told you the Bears are still the worst roster in this motherfucking NFL. But now fuck that. I'm going first, nigga. Justin Fields, man. Justin Fields looked bad. Whoever their offensive coordinator needs to be fired. Dang, I had his name earlier today. Can't remember it. He schemes.
Is Matt Nagy their head coach or the coordinator?
Matt Nagy is gone. Matt Nagy's on the Chiefs.
That's
the Chiefs OC. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. But he looks bad. Offensive line still looks terrible. Chase Claypool might be out the league this year. Jesus Christ. And that defense doesn't get any pressure and can't defend anybody. So I'm fading the Bears basically the entire year. Yeah, man, it doesn't look good for the Bears. The Packers, I thought they would be a good team. I understood that they lost Rodgers, but I still think they have good pieces. They didn't have Christian Watts in this game. Dobbs looked good. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, everyone looked good. Jordan Love looked decent. I mean, he had fucking 6 years to pass the ball, though. I don't think I ever saw a Bears defender even come close to fucking touching him. Looked like he was playing 7-on-7 out there. The Bears are bad. That's basically what I have to say. The Bears are bad. I feel bad. I feel bad for Justin Fields, and then I also don't feel bad for Justin Fields because sometimes I feel like he locks onto his receiver and he low-key panics, and he tries to escape. But I understand why he's trying to escape all the time because you have no fucking offensive line.
So it was life out there.
Yeah, man. It's not looking good, bro, and it's not looking good for Chicago. I understand they thought they had a lot to look up to this year, but if you can't win in the trenches, you're not winning fucking football games. Period. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I'm gonna say this: it's always a fight, or not a fight, but it's always like a crazy game when it comes to like a Green Bay and what's it called, the Chicago game. I mean, being that my brother's a Green Bay Packers fan, so I get to watch a lot of those games. Shout out my boy Poppy. And that nigga, he told me, he said it was going to be just like this. That's the crazy part. A lot of people sleep on their defense, and he said their defense won't allow Justin Fields to do anything. He's like, he obviously doesn't have the best arm, and he doesn't really have receivers that create too much separation. Being that really, I don't know if you guys agree, but in my opinion, Mooney is the best route runner on their team. Like I like Moore. I don't like Claypool at all, but when it comes to getting open, from what I've seen over the last couple of years, it'd be Mooney. But their team is not that talented when you have that shitty of a line. And Justin Fields, obviously, it's hard to get better when you don't have an offensive coordinator. What's his name? I think his name is like Getsy, not Nagy. Getsy.
Yes, Getsy. He needs to be fired tomorrow.
So we've been talking about him for years. He's trash. Well, not years, but he was trash last year. He's trash this year. I mean, some things just don't work, and it doesn't seem like he's made any type of changes. They've added players, but he hasn't made any changes to his offense at all. It looks the exact same. For the Green Bay Packers, that's a great look to wake up week one, no Aaron Rodgers, put up 38 points after, to my knowledge, they struggled offensively last year. You know what I mean? And they seemed like they were well oiled. They seemed like they had the chemistry that was missing last year. I mean, there wasn't much complaining and blaming like there was last year. But obviously, it's easy to not have those things when you're scoring 38 points, 38-14 or something like that. So I do understand that too. But Jordan Love, he did look good. He made great passes, in my opinion, and his receivers look like they're here to play. Like Romeo Doubs looks like he's real. I don't know if y'all are watching him, but Romeo Doubs look real. That's somebody that my brother said watch out for, and I think that's somebody to be on my radar. I was looking at Christian Watson, but I'm being told that Romeo Doubs is that next guy.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I had the Bears. I was coming into the season high on the Bears. Morely just for me being a Buckeye fan, I want to see Justin Fields win. He's my favorite quarterback to come from Ohio State. And at his time, I know we talking about NFL, but at his time, he's probably – I've seen Justin throw the football. I've seen what he can do with some time. So it's hard for me to hear the argument was pissing me off. Somebody in the fantasy league was like, Justin can't throw. Oh, how's Justin's arm? Then they giving him the running back tag. That's the most disrespectful thing as a black man. Don't you?
Yeah, he throw better than Kenny Pickett.
Huh? What you say?
I say he throw better than Kenny Pickett.
I would rather have him than Kenny Pickett. I don't know. Like I said, we're not going to do this. I said this earlier. Kenny Pickett's my quarterback, so I'm riding with him. Kenny Pickett is not my pick. I would rather have. There's a lot of other guys I'd rather have. But Kenny not bad. Justin's not bad. So I'm glad you said that. Justin's not a bad quarterback. But damn it, the boy out there fighting for his life. So it's just going to continue to look like that if he feels like he doesn't have time. If he feels like he's not comfortable in that pocket, he feels like he has the rush to make decisions, well, it's going to look like that a lot of the time. And as you see, anyway, that's all I got for the Bears. That's all. Praying for Justin, man. I want to see him play well. Apparently, they got him some weapons this year. Claypool, trash. Trash. Claypool, trash. So, man, I hope he finds a way to figure it out because I know he has the potential. And I know he got a dog in him to be a good quarterback, but it's clear that he's not comfortable back there at all. And kudos, like you said, that's a big win for the Packers. I was one of those people that were, as a casual, I'm like, oh, the Packers going to be trash, whatever the case may be. I just didn't expect that out of them, but they fought, like you said, 38 points after Rodgers. You just wouldn't expected that. So big win for the Packers, and I'm interested to see what they can do here on out because Jordan Love, he can get it done. And Romeo Doubs, I'm gonna look out for him too because shit, I can't tell you what school he went to or whatever. I don't know if he's been in the league or not. So I'm like, who is Romeo? But that boy was, yeah. I'm gonna tune in.
Next game we have Zay, you're gonna take the floor on this one first. By default, man, we have the Seahawks getting dog walked. I couldn't think of a better word this time, but I'm gonna have to use the same word again. They got dog walked by the Rams in the second half, at least. Talk to me, man.
This is where I say it's the NFL, so you can't put nothing past anybody. I don't get me as a fan. I'm like, Ravens. I'm not the Ravens. The Rams. They're not gonna compete this year. I'm just thinking they're not gonna be, you know what I'm saying, good enough. You know, Cooper Kupp didn't play, whatever. So I'm like, they're not gonna compete because of what I know, what roster wise, I know what Seattle has. So, but they came out prepared. They knew that their opponent was probably gonna sleep on them, and they punched them in the mouth, point blank and simple. Seattle, I don't know. They were just not. It just was not their week. I guess that's one of those games, like we say, you guys still got to throw the film away. Just glad we got guys back out there. You know, shout out my guy Darryl Taylor finally getting back out there after missing this preseason. So they got Bobby back. You know, I was very high on the Seahawks for many reasons, but just on paper, man, they got a good roster. They really do got a good roster. I know O-line. I know they lost both their tackles in that game, I believe. So eventually, it just crumbled down from there. Kenneth Walker is real deal though. That was something to take away from that game. I keep up with Seattle, like I said, because my boy played there. So they think that's like a generational talent of a running back for them. So they're high on him, and that was good to see because I know he was dealing with injury as well coming into it. Outside of that, Geno didn't have the type of game that I expected coming out week one against the Rams. So I'm hoping, like I said, they got the 49ers next. So this can get really ugly for Seattle if they don't get it together. They have a good roster. Like I said, I hate to see teams be mediocre. And after that performance, that would make me a little worried because I know what they got next coming up. But big kudos. I'm a big Matt Stafford fan. So big kudos to him for going out there and not having his top options and, just people doubting him getting it done with whoever he was throwing the ball to. I still probably can't tell you who he was throwing the ball to. But for him to go out there and be able to do that and go out there and win a game with that roster, kudos. Because he does not get enough credit to me. And now that he's back healthy, don't be surprised if you see more wins like this from the Rams. That's all I'm going to say.
We got Puka Nacua. That was the guy. Came and replaced Cooper Kupp for the day, or for the next couple of weeks, and showed the fuck out. I know everybody on the other side, Terry Willen, Witherspoon, Kobe Bryant was like, who the fuck is this? Latest practice squad motherfucker came in and joined, torched their ass. My boy Tutu Atwell, I'm high on Tutu though. So I already thought Tutu was gonna do a little something. So especially with Matthew Stafford being back, and he's like an open field guy. So I always knew he had a chance. But Puka Nacua shook the room up for sure. He had I think he almost had 20 targets. Damn near 20 targets. Like it was crazy.
Yeah,
he had 10 plus targets in the first half. So it was like since he's playing in Cooper Kupp's position in the playbook, it's easy. It's easy that way, being that Matthew Stafford is a pretty good quarterback, but as we would know, he's somebody that keys in if you're a film watching guy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man,
So,
if Matthew Stafford trusts you, you get in that motherfucker.
oh, you gonna get that shit. You make a catch. Oh, you can get. You're doing your job, my boy.
Hey, listen.
Ain't nothing wrong with that though.
I don't get nothing wrong with that. Feed
nothing
the
wrong
hot
with
man.
that.
We ain't never been mad at that.
Because another quarterback, Ben was like that in a way. When Ben had a target he loved, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was getting to him.
On the other side, I was highly disappointed in Gino. I put the game in his hands. I don't think it was the play calling. I don't think Gino looked like old Gino. You know what I'm saying? But he's a happy man. So it doesn't regardless, it's like Gino's in a position where he can play however he feels like he did what he never thought or proved everybody that he can be a starting quarterback, and that's enough for him, I would say. But Gino looked like the Gino of last. So
yeah, man. Matthew Stafford with no expectations or like very minimum expectations. Matthew Stafford already has his Super Bowl ring, so no one can really say shit to him. This is a dangerous man. This is a very dangerous man because he does not give a fuck. Who cares? We're supposed to be bad. Right. So you're about to see Matthew Stafford from the Detroit Lions. And you got Sean McVay calling the plays. I said this in the last pod. I think the Rams are going to be a surprising team. They're going to win games that they're not supposed to. Example A. And they're gonna be in the playoff race. I didn't think they were going to get in, but I think they're going to be in the playoff race to the very last week. And Tutu and Puku, these sounds like creative player names, but them boys was going off. They both had 119 yards. And you would have thought going into the game that Higbee and Van Jefferson would have been the big guys. But you got a guy out of Louisville and Tutu, and then a guy out of BYU and Puka just going absolutely off. I'm sure that a bunch of people picked up Puku and definitely Puku in their fantasy with 15 targets. Tutu might be a sleeper for some of y'all. They both had 119 yards, man. Big play receivers. And they were carving up a secondary that was looked up. Not want to say looked up to, but like people thought well of the Seahawks secondary. Your mic is muted.
That secondary would definitely be elite with Tyreek Woolen, Witherspoon, and Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamal Adams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people were looking up. Don't say that last name.
Yeah,
that last name. You lost me. You lost me. You lost me. You lost
me. Why
did
I lose you though?
Jamal Adams. You lost me.
He doesn't have to be nasty when you have those other guys.
You lost me. The way you talk about Chase. The way you talk about. I think you're a hater. I promise I'm not a hater.
But
on the Jets,
he's actually played, but like he's actually played and played well.
Not for the Seahawks.
Has he not been hurt?
He has been, but not for the Seahawks. He has not played well. Okay. When he was on the field, he did not play well for the Seahawks.
I've watched him come back and get hurt over and over. I've watched his in-game injuries. We're talking about a nigga that we just can't. We like, what's wrong? What's going on? But if you want to compare the two, that's on you. That's on you. I know all Jets guys have hate for Jamal Adams. So I
don't have hate for him, bro.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Bro, Zay, unmute the mic, man. Come on, man.
You know, you don't like Jamal Adams. You know I don't.
I told him first. I said,
man, hey, that's just me personally. Jamal Adams and like Tyrann Mathieu, those two safeties, I just don't really care.
What? See, look what he just said.
I don't
look
care.
What he said. He doesn't like niggas that come downhill. I think Jamal Adams' problem is that he's not a.
He can't cover.
Yeah, he's not. Okay? Minka, that's what he's not. He's not a Minka Fitzpatrick.
Listen,
that's not every, and that's why he has. That's why he has Witherspoon, Kobe Bryant, and Tyreek Woolen around him, so he doesn't have to cover much.
Right.
No, I get that. I get what you're saying.
What are y'all not understanding, bro? Not everybody has to be that type of guy.
I'm just saying he's not good.
He's not good now.
I get your point.
He's not good.
You don't got to be great.
You going to show? What did you say? You're a big prove it guy, right? You got to prove it again. Sorry.
Again. You see how he said again?
He hasn't proved it since he's been on the Jets, man.
No. Yeah, facts though. Since then,
he hasn't proved it since on the Jets, man.
I feel you though. I feel you.
I got a type of DB or something.
Yeah. Seahawks got the 49ers coming in next week. It can get ugly fast. It can get ugly fast. The 49ers, man, they can just bring a tear to your eye.
Let's hurry up and get to these recaps. I'm talking too much.
All right, Cowboys versus Giants. The Cowboys absolutely obliterated the Giants. I mean, 40-0 in MetLife. People were texting me and telling me they forgot it was 9/11. The memes were going out everywhere. They paid Daniel Jones $160 million. Someone please talk to me about this game.
I mean, it's kind of hard to talk to you about this game. I won't lie to you.
Tough.
I'm not gonna keep saying that. If you know football, it's like saying that shit gets tiring. The Giants ain't do enough on their offense. The commentators got to shut the fuck up with that 4-2 speed, 4-3 speed, 4-4 speed receivers. Oh my God, Daniel Jones just has those weapons out there. Them niggas create no separation. Speed means nothing when you can't run routes and you can't get open. Just saying. I mean, they're putting 9 in the box on Saquon and niggas can't get open. All that speed that you're talking about, somebody has to be open, right? Sure. They're literally stacking the box to make sure one man does not get loose, which they did a pretty good. Any team should do that because they did a pretty good job doing so. Now, I mean, I think the Giants line did get a little bit better, but going against what we would say a top 5 D line in the NFL is pretty difficult. We're gonna say that the Cowboys don't got a top 5 D line.
No.
Pass rush, maybe not D line, but pass rush.
It might be top 2.
It might
not be 2.
It could be top 2 for sure. It's others that we can talk about or people will argue about.
It's definitely up for debate. I think they're top 3 personally.
Like we're just doing. Debate. I mean, it's hard to say. If we're just doing, I mean, off of names, cool. We're gonna see. It's a long season.
It's a long.
But if we're just doing pass rushes,
Evan Sachs is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy. Both my linebackers had 10+ tackles though and a sack each. Well, you know, I didn't want to brag about that when we were talking about it. I didn't want to talk about that too much. But you know. But like they do look good. I would say the defense didn't look like they could. I wasn't upset with the defense. They created turnovers. They were able to make plays. But when you can't get anything going offensively and you're fighting against a short field every single time with your back against the wall and you're losing the game 14-0, even if the offense doesn't score, it's kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's demoralizing enough. You know what I'm saying? So. Dak didn't have to do anything special. He didn't have any upside to his game. Actually, he had a lot of bad passes, a lot of throwing passes too high, overthrowing and shit like that. Typical Dak. But being that he has a super talented team, he'll get somewhere. He has a chance to still look good. And again, the NFC is very weak. And this is the third time I'm saying this about the NFC, being that there's, to me, 3 or 4 contenders. No, 3 contenders. 2 in the same division.
Man, I'm gonna keep it simple. For me, the Cowboys did what they were supposed to do, so I'll give them credit for that. I didn't think they was gonna have a shutout the whole game. I know their defense was good, but it's week 1. Figured somebody make a mistake here and there or whatever, but they was solid. They was really good. Like you said, a top 5 defense, maybe even better than that. But my concern is for Saquon Barkley. Obviously, I don't know what he's gonna do. I heard that he can get franchised again next year too. Like, very unfortunate situation for him. Like you said, they're stacking 9 in the box, and you telling me you still can't get open. That's just rough. But that just goes to me when you talk about who wants it or not. That just goes to show me that Saquon is a football player. He want to play ball, so he's just probably happy to be out there. But in reality, it's not a good situation for him. I wish him the best. I'm not a fan of Daniel Jones. I'm not surprised he struggled. I know he played a good defense, but I'm not surprised he struggled. I'll tell you that. I remember a while back coming into the draft, a good friend of mine, Cleveland Farrell, was telling me how good Daniel Jones was and how he was the best quarterback in that draft and all that. And from that day forward, I just never been a fan of it. So I'm not praying on his downfall.
That's a good friend of yours?
Great friend of mine.
He's starting to do a little bit better.
But yeah, he's in a great organization too. Yeah, shout out
starting both on the other side.
Yeah, starting DM for the Niners. So
he's starting to look all right. You know.
So
I was high on him coming into the draft.
And he's fine. He's gonna be whatever high you think he's gonna be, he can get there. He's that type of
all right. That will.
I'll tell you this. What you think of him or whatever your high was, because you're a football guy, so you know how to read football players. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was accurate. Now, whether it converted to the field in his years in Vegas,
he did have to play for Las Vegas, so
the Las Vegas, yeah. So whether it transpired then and that, that's here nor there, but I'm sure your judgment of him as a football player, you probably accurate.
I'll be on the lookout for him. I didn't even really notice that he was on the 49ers for real.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying that, I do remember them saying his name a couple times.
Yeah, 94 now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pay attention to that for sure.
Yeah, but Saquon, I hope things get better for Saquon over there. Shout out Dexter Lawrence. He just got his paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Big Dex. But yeah, man, Jalen Hyatt blew me too. We talk about 4.3 speed. I seen him catch. Man, he had a ball. He probably could have took it another 60 yards. And he just would have caught it. And that's just jitters of being a rookie. But man, if he would have caught that ball, I was like, he would have been out of there. But you got to catch it first. Kadarius Toney, you got to catch it first.
Shout out Dexter Lawrence. Big time shout out to Dexter Lawrence. I'll never forget what he did for us at Clemson, man.
The guy.
It's not story time, but you know what I'm saying. Just want to give my shout out to Big Dex, man. That man looked out, man.
He all right with me.
Yeah, he's good with me, man. I also want to say, man, Dexter Lawrence is a humongous human, bro. That's a big part. But on to the game. Yeah, man, 160. It didn't look good for Daniel Jones. You pay a man 160, you get 0 points at home on a primetime football. It's not a good look.
I'll be saying 160, like 160 is a lot in today's quarterback market.
Shit. when you could have paid Saquon?
Yeah, that's why. That's
why it's ugly.
That's the main reason. Right?
What is it? It was 164 years, right?
Yeah, but it's just disrespectful because they didn't want to pay Saquon like.
But I get what you're saying because quarterbacks.
Y'all know how it is with running backs.
But it's not
Saquon's
really
definitely one of those running backs you're supposed to pay.
He should get paid like CMC.
For sure.
Yeah,
that's what he can be used as.
And will we agree that their scheme is he's the first option? Will we agree?
Yeah.
All right,
exactly. So he's their everything.
Exactly. So that means I feel like he should be paid accordingly. But you paid this guy. So I don't even. Like you said, 160 is not crazy for a quarterback, but Saquon making what, 11 million, 10 million? Ain't Bijan making more than Saquon right now?
I don't know, but
his annual making like I thought Bijan was making like $7 million a year, but it was like the highest rookie contract.
Oh, I thought they did like the rankings for the running backs or something, and I could have sworn he was higher than Saquon, but this might have been before Saquon signed.
Saquon on the Ravens, Saquon on the Dolphins. Oh my
God. Let's not act like the shit. Like keep putting in the air. The Ravens zone is very much possible. We out here searching. We might look at I'm telling you, we might be looking. We're gonna be looking to trade for Saquon, looking to trade for Jonathan Taylor, or looking to sign Leonard Fournette. You heard it here first.
I'm just saying the teams that Saquon could really get busy like CMC on if you just went to a new team, Saquon could be one of them guys. Oh, like Saquon I couldn't even imagine if Saquon was on the Chiefs somehow. Like,
oh man.
Like Saquon is his career is not where it's supposed to be. He needs to be on a different team, bro. But the Giants were so bad that it was starting to scare me before, everything happened with my quarterback. That I was like, yo, Rodgers is in trouble next week. Like, this defensive line is crazy. They were how you play all Madden and you play like your little superstar mode and you're like, God damn, I got no blocking. That's what it felt like when I was watching that game. Them boys was there in 2 seconds. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I felt bad for Daniel Jones. The Giants are who I thought they were going to be. I thought that last year was basically a fucking fluke. And I think they're going to be a bad fucking football team this year. Not like fucking horrendous, but I don't think they're making the playoffs at all. Last game, Monday Night Football. Probably the second best game to watch. I would say the Chargers and Dolphins were the best game to watch. But the theatrics of it all.
Yo, this was one of the worst games. What are you talking about?
It was good theatrics. Zay.
From an entertainment, I see. Well, I get both. I see both.
I see what you're saying, but like
this show was not, bro. It was not that exciting, bro. Chill out.
You're a hater.
But, it was on some like, come on, bro. I mean, people like, oh yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you watch football for offense, but it's always great to see good defenses going head to head. But it wasn't exactly that. Your defenses. I mean, I'm gonna talk about first, even though you're a Jets fan. Is that okay? I'm gonna talk to you. Your defense is legit. But your defense didn't listen. But your defense didn't make those plays. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds. Now let me explain that to you.
Go ahead, go.
Not that like your defense was making plays, but a lot of those turnovers were self-inflicted wounds by Josh Allen. You at the end of the day, you still have to play football. So being I'm saying you have a great defense. So great defenses aren't the type of teams you can fuck up against, right or wrong. Right, nigga, I know I'm right. But you know what I'm saying? That's all it was. Is Josh Allen digressing from being an elite quarterback because that elite quarterbacks take care of the ball. That's what we know. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't take care of the ball, you lose your eliteness. So that you could talk about the rest of the game. I just wanted to say that because y'all niggas, I don't want you to sit too hyped.
Go ahead, Zay.
I think what he's saying, I feel like he's just is either you're gonna give the Jets credit or you're just gonna say it was Josh Allen's fault. And I give it. It's both. It's both. It is just what side you choose to defend. And I'm just gonna give the Jets credit because they had to make them pay still. I've seen many of teams be in this situation and not make the play. I.e., the Houston game. Oh, the Ravens when CJ Stroud threw that. Man, he threw that crazy joint and it bounced off of somebody. I was like, my point is the Jets made the plays. So I'm going to give them credit for it. Because going from Rodgers coming out to being down to fighting back to taking the lead to going to overtime to getting the stop and then winning on a punt return, like it was, like I said, from a fan standpoint, the entertainment of the game was probably one of the better games to watch this weekend. But I get what you're saying about how, like, as a football guy, like, the game shouldn't even have been like that. It should never even got to that point.
It was really just bad mistakes by both teams throughout the game. Like, even when Aaron Rodgers went down, it kind of reminded me of when I was in high school when Carlton Griffin got hurt and, like, our coach just froze. And I wouldn't say, like, it seemed like solid froze, but it didn't seem like he went back to, like I say, people got to realize you had Zach Wilson for some games. Didn't seem like he went back to what works for Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kept the same game plan he had for Rodgers and said, fuck it. Like, we're here now. Let's keep it going. And I think once you go in the locker room at halftime, that's when you make that adjustment. Knowing that Rodgers is not coming back. He's gone. Everything we did over the preseason is over with. Let's jump back to what we know. It may not be what we go forward with, but let's do what we know and let that be adjustments. Maybe it didn't matter because you were still able to come out with a win, but I wasn't excited when I in the sense of football. It's like nothing happened. What are you guys doing? The Bills are throwing the game away. Where's your take opportunity into your own hands? Same thing with the Bills. The Jets, they're not getting shit. What are you doing, Josh Allen? Matter of fact, get the ball, get Josh Allen on the fucking bench. Let me bench this nigga. That's how it was starting to look. Like, and it was just bad football. So, like, from a fan perspective, oh my God, it's exciting. But from a football perspective, it's like these are the niggas that we're about to watch all year. This is the NFL. It was ugly. It was like a CFL game.
Oh man. First of all, man, big shout out to my nigga Breece Hall. If he wasn't on a fucking pitch count, if he wasn't on a fucking snap count, he might have had 200 yards last night. I mean, on Monday. But that's neither here or there. Josh Allen never plays good against us. I told y'all that before the day started. I said Josh Allen, I think his over under was 250. I was like, he's not going to get that because he plays bad against us. He always plays bad against us. Like, next week when Josh Allen plays, he's going to look like a top 5 quarterback again against the Raiders. Josh Allen does not play good against us. Well, because we have a Super Bowl defense. Our defense is good enough to play in a Super Bowl. Our offense is inept. And that's why everyone was so excited when Aaron Rodgers came. You had Breece Hall back. Breece Hall looked good. Breece Hall last year would have scored that touchdown, that 83-yard run he had. He was not getting hawked last year. You got Garrett Wilson, one of the rising offensive player of rookie of the year. But obviously you saw the catch in the end zone. Crazy. And it's just devastating to see, man, like the season that we thought we could have. Because, like, I was saying it in the bar. If Aaron Rodgers is playing this game, we beat the. I don't want to say we beat the shit out of the.
No, y'all beat the shit out of them. Y'all beat the shit again.
We would have whooped them though. It would have been a convincing win. I want to say that. I want to say it wasn't gonna be like when I say beat the shit. I'm thinking like beat the shit is like what the fucking Cowboys did to the Giants. That's beat the shit out of someone. But yeah, it would have been a convincing win. I mean, we're just back to last year, bro. Basically, what I was saying, bro. I don't think we should bring in another quarterback. Let me just get that off real quick. I think we should let Zach Wilson die on his own accord or rise to the occasion, whichever way it may be. Zach Wilson is gonna have to fucking learn, man. Don't turn over the ball. Let the defense win games. We have a good run game. That offensive line is gonna have to fucking protect them. Our offensive line was the worst thing I seen during our game on Monday, and Josh Allen's exactly who I fucking thought he was against us. Every time that he threw a pass, there was someone in his face. The fumble is completely on him. The game is completely on him too. He did the right thing after the game. That's something that Zach Wilson did not do that at the game, and that's why he fucking lost his job when he did that against the Patriots.
Accountability.
Yeah, he didn't have any accountability. And I like that. Garrett Wilson, like we talked about with Justin Jefferson, he was positive with Zach Wilson all game. Alan Lazard was positive with Zach Wilson all game. The thing I didn't like to see, as you were saying, was Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett is in charge of the offense. I wouldn't say it was Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh has his defense on lock. He's had the defense on lock for the last 2 years.
Minded coach.
So Nathaniel Hackett was calling the game scared. And I've said, and I don't know if Zay, you were watching the chat, but I kept saying, let him just fucking throw the ball. Like, we can't keep running run, screen, run. Like, that's not going to work. Let him throw the ball and just let him, like, if it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. Like, the season at the time was chalk. Like, we have Zach Wilson back. You got to move on, bro. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not coming back to save the day. If it's so bad that Zach Wilson can do it, we'll get someone else. We'll get fucking Chad Henne, Nick Foles, one of these motherfuckers. We'll get Matt Ryan out the booth, someone. But
you could tell that they just truly don't trust Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but I was all like, bro, we're gonna have to move on. You're gonna have to mold the offense to Zach's liking, which is gonna have to be a lot of runs, a lot of play actions. Like, that's just what's gonna have to be.
RPO and a lot of short game.
Yeah.
And on the bright side, I honestly feel like it worked. My homeboy texted me during that game. He was like, bro, whatever. I'm like, it's working though. Like, Toronto, from my point of view, I was like, the defense gonna win this game. I don't know how. I didn't think
defense can win you a lot of games. So if the defense get you short fields, you got to create some type of offense that can win that.
So my point is, I feel like they kept a short game for him. And as me watching, I'm like, wanting to see him take the shots because you just want to see that happen. But like, it worked. They want the game for that, and I'm glad they stuck with it because the defenses end up doing what they needed to do, man. Like I said, even in overtime, getting the stop to you know what I'm saying, for ultimately getting the punt return.
I mean, he made a couple of big passes. The pass to Garrett Wilson, not the touchdown. That was all Garrett Wilson. The one before that on 3rd and 5th, he made the pass to Alan Lazard as he was getting stepped on. I mean, they moved the ball down the field. Eventually. Nick Hackett called the most conservative game he could, and the defense won it for us. I thought that Josh Allen. I didn't think Josh Allen would literally give us the game, but that's what he literally did. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens next week. I wouldn't say next week is the game I'm looking for Zach Wilson. I would say it's the week after that when he faces the Patriots. Because next week, I feel like you're going against a top 5 defense. It's just going to be an ugly game next week. But that's it for week 1. Does anyone first have any overreactions to week 1? Any overreaction takes?
No, I don't want to. Nah, I'm not to be that guy. I'm trying not to be that guy.
I have an overreaction. Wait. Hold on. Gotta mute him.
I'm trying not to be that guy.
My overreaction for week 1 and for the rest of the season. Tua Tagovailoa is winning MVP. That's my overreaction. Tua Tagovailoa is going to win the MVP this year. You had none, right?
No, I ain't got one.
Quad, do you have
My
an overreaction?
overreaction is Super Bowl Ravens.
All right, we're moving on to week 2.
He want one of these, James. He trying to get one of these. You feel me? Yeah, come on
Wait.
now.
Hold on.
Oh,
Who
man.
won the Super Bowl last? Y'all or us?
I ain't trying to hear that. Who got the most?
Hey,
I'm not
Quad,
trying
move
to
over
hear
some.
that. All right, let's do ratio. How long?
No, bro. We gotta move through. We gotta move through.
How long y'all been a team and how many Super Bowls?
Move through.
We have our whole episode planned. I'll go all day.
All right, Quad, move it just a little bit more. I want you in the middle. So when I cut it up. All right, there we go. All right, first game, man. Vikings. The Vikings are visiting the Eagles at Lincoln Field. The Eagles are favored by 6 points. What do you think?
Eagles to cover.
Yeah, Eagles cover. Not even gonna second guess that. Too much over there.
I also got the Eagles winning this game. Probably Eagles cover. I understand this might be a revenge game for the Vikings, but the Vikings defense, I think the Eagles are gonna be a lot better this year. This week. Next game we got the Raiders versus the Bills. The Bills are favored by 9 at home.
I have the Bills. I don't have Josh Allen playing terribly 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Bills, but I'm gonna say
I don't got them covering.
Raiders cover.
Raiders will cover the spread.
Raiders cover the spread.
I got the Bills covering the spread. I got the Bills actually whipping the shit out of the Raiders from last week. You got a West Coast team coming to an East Coast game at 1:00, and that never bodes well.
Especially the Niners.
Well, that was week 1. I said that. So I got the Bills winning by a lot this game. We have the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are actually favored by 3.5 at home.
Ravens to win, and obviously that means we cover. So, and I'm gonna say obviously the slow start thing will continue with the Bengals. I don't think they'll figure it out in 1 week. Even though we are really banged up, we lost 2 starting O linemen. I'm not sure about how the injury report is going, but we lost our starting left tackle and center, being like 2 of our better linemen. And then we also lost Marcus Williams, being our best safety who was active because our starting corners were both inactive in week 1, being Rock Ya-Sin and Marlon Humphrey. And with all those things being said, I still think we're going to win the game.
I'm going to say crazy. Like I'm with Coach K. As a divisional game, it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, like from what I saw after week 1, I'm gonna chill on the Bengals a little bit. I think, like you said, slow start continues. I think the Ravens win this one.
I think that the Bengals played so fucking bad that it can't get any worse.
True.
And I think they sneak out a closer one. I don't think they cover though. Maybe like a field goal game.
This guy was just telling me about how you can't win if you can't win in the trenches and just completely disregard.
I understand. Hey man, I understand that, bro. But
and right now we look like we have one of the strongest.
This is what I feel.
This
is what I feel, bro. It's no hate.
I feel your feelings.
I have the Ravens winning the. I have the Ravens winning the division, bro. I have the Ravens winning the division. I just don't think they're gonna win this game.
Yeah, it's all right. So that means we're not gonna agree. We're not gonna agree later on in the season when I got us losing to them in the second chance. But
then yeah, I will have y'all winning that game.
Yeah, because if you have us getting swept by them, there's no way we would win the division. So,
the Chiefs are visiting the Jaguars. The Kansas City Chiefs are still favored by 3.5. I don't think Kelsey's playing though. But Chris Jones is back.
I have the Jaguars. I have the Chiefs starting off real slow, 0-2 start. Did they start off 0-2 last year too? Okay. Well, I know they started off slow though, for sure. But I do have the Jaguars winning this game. Trevor Lawrence getting that confidence boost with a W over Patrick Mahomes, and it'll be a good game though. Definitely it'll end up being a shootout, even though the Jaguars have a good defense. Mahomes just finds a way to get games on.
Where's the game at again?
It's in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah. Duval. Yep. Jags cover. I like Jags cover. I like that a lot. No Travis Kelce. Jags cover. And that's it. What was that? Jags cover. I ain't gonna get into that.
I don't trust the Chiefs receivers. I'm going Jags cover too. Yeah, Jags get revenge. Chargers at the Titans. Chargers are favored by 3.
I have the Chargers. I like the Titans versus certain teams, but I have the Chargers. I don't think they'll be able to stop the firepower.
Chargers at the Titans? That's what it is?
Yep.
What's the line?
Chargers by 3.
Ooh, Chargers a cover.
I think I'm gonna go Titans cover, man. I don't know. These are the type of the games that I see that I always think the Titans would never be in, and then this one of them games I'll just be like, wow. So I'm Titans. What is it, home opener, right? Or no? Did they play
home opener?
Home opener, yeah.
It'll be
Titans cover. Let's see something. Shock the world, Titans.
Did they win?
No. Now I think they're gonna cover. That's why I said they're gonna shock the world and then cover, because that's a low line. So that's a nice little. If you like Chargers, definitely take that number. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be a close game. Chargers pull it out, but they don't cover.
Damn. I'm gonna say the Titans win this game. I've seen another high-powered offense play against the Titans, and I thought that the Titans had no chance last year against the Kansas City Chiefs with Malik Willis, and they almost won that game. And I feel like the same thing's gonna happen here, but this time they have Ryan Tannehill and they play better, and the Titans win, and the sky's gonna be falling for the Chargers early in the season. I can't explain it. I'm just gonna go with Variable. Variable's getting that Belichick respect for me, even though he has no championships. We got the Packers going to Atlanta, 1:00 game. The Packers are favored by 1 point.
I feel bad that I'm picking on these favorites, but I do have the Packers. And I think it's a little biasness because I've been watching a whole lot of them during the summer, like with my brother, just keeping up with the training camp.
Man, I'm going Falcons, man. ATL. Shout out my boy Juice, man. We're going with the Falcons next week, man. Let's do it.
I'm absolutely going with the fucking Packers. I do not trust Desmond Ridder at all.
Like Desmond Ridder versus Jair Alexander would be fun to watch.
So yeah,
We'll see.
He didn't look the greatest against the Panthers, and the Packers are better than the Panthers. So I'm going with the Packers. We have the Seahawks visiting the Detroit Lions for their home opener. Detroit is favored by 5 points.
I love what they did on Thursday night versus Kansas City, but I'm going with the Seahawks. I think this defense has a little bit more to show against the Lions, and it'll make it a little bit harder job for Jared Goff, being that, he's out there cooking shit. Can I throw an odd one out there? I think this would be the first game he throws a pick. He hasn't thrown a pick in a very long time.
He hasn't.
Yeah, me as well. I'm going with Seahawks cover. I know earlier I gave them credit, the Lions, just for being the type of team that they are, how they always compete and all that. But like I said, I think Seattle's going to bounce back in week 2 with that underperformance from that defense. Not defense, from the offense that just didn't play up to par. So I think we're going to get to see a little bit more of JSN, my Buckeye out there. And I think Geno's going to have a better game just overall. And that'll propel them to a win in covering the spread. Why you chuckle? What's the JSN chuckle for?
Nah, it's the Buckeye chuckle.
Buckeye.
Every time it's like the Buckeye comment like automatically makes them good or something. It's so funny. He's like, yeah, the Buckeye. Like, that don't mean he got talent, nigga.
I also have the Lions. I have the Lions winning this game. You can't touch Jared Goff. Yeah, home opener. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of the crowd's gonna be crazy. Lions
You
win.
know Detroit going crazy, brother.
Lions win and cover. Colts at the Texans. The line is Indianapolis by 1.
Honestly, I do have the Texans. I have the Texans. So I don't really have too much reason to it, but I have the Texans.
You already know. I'm going with H-Town. My boy CJ Stroud got his first NFL win. He gonna have a good game. Texans win.
From what I saw this weekend, the Colts are the better team.
He's going with AR. I know it.
I'm going with the Colts and AR. He looks special. We got the Bears at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are favored by 2.5.
I have the Bears, and the Bears to cover, obviously. I have the Bears. I did like, obviously, y'all happy that Baker Mayfield was able to pull one out, but he's one of those guys that, you know, good game, bad game. So I do have the Bears.
This hurts, but I'm going Bucs. Bucs cover. What I saw from Chicago,
What the fuck does it hurt?
Because, you know, my boy, first of all, come on. Y'all just want to hear me talk about my Buckeyes. Justin Fields, nigga. Come on now. I just said how he was my favorite quarterback out of Ohio State. So I don't want to bet against him. But what I saw out of Chicago last week, that was not.
This nigga is stupid.
I'm not putting nothing. I can't touch that. I don't want to do that. But nah, Justin, you lose. You gonna start 0-2, man. I think the Bucs gonna get him.
I got the Bucs too. I kind of hinted at it earlier. The Bucs are gonna fucking. Yeah, the Bucs are gonna do that to them. Fuck the Bears, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry ass team, bro. The 49ers are visiting the Rams. The 49ers are favored by 8 points on the road.
49ers to cover. Next one.
49ers cover. After what I saw, yes, every week Niners cover.
Yeah, they got to give me a reason not to pick them to cover.
I want to say I made a mistake earlier. I've been thinking the 49ers have been playing the Seahawks this entire time.
Yeah, me too.
Damn.
We good, though.
Doesn't matter. The 49ers are still going to fucking win. And they're going to continue their dominance. It ain't going to be like last week. I'm sorry, Matt. Next, we have the Commanders visiting the Broncos. And the Broncos are favored by 3.5.
Commanders. We got the Commanders winning this. I have no trust in the Broncos. I told y'all how I feel. I'm like AB.
See, and I feel that same way. But that's gonna be a tough. I think this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a good game. But
this is a test for show for both teams. And Russell Wilson usually does. He doesn't play well versus the Commanders, but he usually does make like those like Russell Wilson type plays when he plays against the Commanders. So it's gonna be exciting to see what he does.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is gonna be a good game for both teams. Like a measuring stick to see where they really are. But I'm gonna go Broncos. Broncos at home. I'm gonna just take that. Over there in Colorado, I'm going to take that with them. They got to start playing with some type of fire. Deion got Colorado hot. So Denver better get right or it ain't going to be no more Denver Broncos football. It's just going to be the Buffs the whole time. So they got to find something. I think this will be a start to it.
This ain't the start to it. I'm going to be honest.
Bronco Country. Let's ride.
I just think the Commanders play way better away from their home fans.
I'm saying Bronco Country.
Just gonna say that. Just gonna put that out.
Let's
there.
ride.
That's a trip. That's a trip. That's way to the other side.
You know that elevation, man. That shit different.
That is different. I know. I played in the mountains.
And I think that the Broncos defense is gonna show up. They're gonna look like last year's Bronco defense. We got the New York Jets visiting the Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys are favored by 9 points.
Cowboys by 20 points. Figure out this fucking quarterback thing.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen in 7 days. So, Cowboys by 20.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna. Yeah, Cowboys are gonna probably cover that spread at home. And I just think the Jets is gonna be too an emotional stance in their organization to play football this soon. So that's gonna be one of them games where y'all just gotta go do it because it's on the schedule. But y'all are still trying to figure everything else in that organization out because what happened to you guys was very devastating, and you can't prepare for that. So yeah, Cowboys cover. Cowboys cover, man. Unfortunately, you guys are in this position, but hey,
no bullshit. This would have been a good one.
And the only funny part is like you guys were trying to move on from Zach Wilson.
We weren't trying to move on from Zach Wilson. We were trying to train Zach Wilson behind Aaron Rodgers.
You think so?
Yeah, if they wanted to move on with him, they would have let him go.
If we wanted to move on with Zach Wilson, we would have got rid of him.
Yeah, they would have just let him go and been like, yeah, go find some work elsewhere if you feel like you're gonna play elsewhere. You know,
he would be playing.
They obviously had him in his head that he'll take the mantle again.
So if it was no A-Rod, it was gonna be Zach Wilson
for sure.
So A-Rod wasn't a chance.
If we didn't get Aaron Rodgers, we would have got rid of Zach Wilson. We probably just would have. I don't know who we would have.
All right, so I don't even see how the fuck that makes sense.
Yeah, so either way, you didn't plan on Zach Wilson being your starting QB this year.
If we had gotten Derek Carr, Zach Wilson would be gone.
Oh yeah.
So
he's young enough to keep one way or another. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
But yeah, I had the Cowboys winning this game even with Aaron Rodgers. I felt like our offensive line was not going to hold up against the defensive line of the Cowboys. Obviously, it just ruins the excitement because Aaron Rodgers usually does something spectacular when he's at the Cowboys Stadium. I always call it his stadium, but the Jets lose this game. I would stay away from the cover personally. That's just me because I think the Jets defense can obviously cover this spread themselves, depending on how well you think Dak will play against it. So I mean, we'll see, but I do think
that's a good point. That's a good point.
We have
for betting purposes, stay away from the spread. I was just talking shit.
We have Tua Tagovailoa, the future MVP of this fucking league. MVP Tua.
He's not playing against the Ravens, so I'm taking Tua.
Versus the Patriots. The Miami Dolphins are favored by 3 on the road.
No, it's crazy because this is actually like a dangerous game.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take the Dolphins to cover. Do you know why? Because the Dolphins play so hard against Bill Belichick. It's like a thing. It's always been a thing. Now I don't know what it is, but they always fight versus him, and they've never usually been the better team. But they usually get like during the Tom Brady era, there was always a team that almost I think Brady has like almost a 50-50 record, if not a losing record against the Dolphins, which would mean the same for Belichick.
These games,
they don't have a good record.
I say these games are always tricky, like you said. When I look at it from, like you guys talking about the betting standpoint, a road fave at 3, it's like it's a little tricky. But I'm gonna go with Miami as well. I think they're the superior team. They're the better team, like you said. They always go pretty hard against the Bill Belichick, so I think they'll pull it out and cover.
I'm going with this Jacoby Myers plays for the Raiders, so that's not who I got to heart. Anyways, that's neither here or there. I got the Dolphins.
Devontae Parker.
Yeah, I didn't. Did he really? Bourne did more last week, but
I just noticed something too.
Dolphins. Belichick can't do this thing where he takes the one good thing away from your team against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are too dynamic on offense. They can't keep up. So I got the Dolphins winning. I definitely got them covering this game too.
I don't think the Patriots had the defense to force the Dolphins to run the ball.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Don't too many teams got that anyway.
That's what's so difficult to play against.
And I think the Dolphins defense will have an easier time defending the Patriots this week. But on to Monday night game, we got a doubleheader. First game at 7:00. We have the Saints visiting the Panthers, and the Saints are favored by 3.
I have the Saints covering for sure. This should be an easy cover.
Mm-hmm. Saints cover. Going against a rookie quarterback. I'm curious to see how he's going to look. It's going to be a really good test for him. I mean, that's some really good defense he's playing against. So I'm curious just to see how poised he is. Is he going to turn the ball over? Is he going to look like an NFL quarterback? We're going to see. But Saints cover.
Yeah, Saints cover. This spread is probably my lock of the week. This is like the easiest spread to look at, and you're like, the Saints should definitely win by more than a field goal. So hopefully people get on that early before the line goes up. And then we have the Browns visiting the Steelers. The Browns are actually favored by 2.5. I'm not sure if that's changed because of what we saw last week or if that's always been the case. But either way, 8:15 Monday Night Football. Browns versus Steelers.
It's AFC North. Nice little matchup. I have to go with Nick Chubb. I'm going with Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper over Kenny Pickett and Najee Harris. I'm just going over. It's a Kenny Pickett thing. I'm just being honest, like, because it's the AFC North. If it was an outer division game, I might be thinking differently, but in the AFC North, because defenses are gonna play well, I don't give a fuck if your defense isn't good or not. When you play in the AFC North against AFC North teams, it's gonna be a good defensive game. Your quarterback has to be able to, have this type of poise. And I'm not sure if I can say Kenny Pickett has it week in, week out. I can agree with Zay. He said he's seen it, and when he said that, I remember games where I seen Kenny with it, but it's something about this two-glove motherfucker I just cannot let sit.
Why do niggas keep saying that? Niggas keep saying that. Last episode, that boy Trey said, he wears fucking 2 gloves. I was
like, I've always wanted to like Teddy, you know what I mean? But it's like something about being a quarterback, and we're like, where did you learn this shit, nigga? Who told you it was okay to just keep like you're not catching balls, bro? The grip? Nigga, grow the fuck up. They give you brand new footballs once you get to the college, NFL. It's brand new football every fucking game. It ain't the grip no more. So I don't know. That shit just pisses me off.
Well, me personally, I've been thinking about it. Obviously, I had a surprisingly winning week 1, but after that performance, I'm like, The history from my football team, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna go back and play the way we played like we did last week. I don't see us starting the season off 0-2 at the crib. So I'm gonna say still curtain cover this week. I'm expecting a way better game. And it's a divisional game, so we always play these games tough, as we said. So as long as we can keep it close, and my defense is gonna come, hopefully Cameron Hayward plays. That's gonna be really key. Really key if Cameron Hayward plays. He's just a vocal leader on that defense. So outside of TJ, and Minka. So hopefully he's out there to play, so we had our best chance of playing and winning that game. But I know what I'm playing against, and I know the Browns are very capable of winning. But I think the way the game's gonna be Monday Night Football, that crowd's gonna be crazy. We're all gonna be very anxious to see our Steelers back on that field. I think all that ultimately will help us win that game. Just the environment alone, and then us just playing with some fucking pride. Not going like that at home again, I think we'll be able to pull it off.
I can respect that.
We should have had you on.
TJ Watt for three sacks for sure.
Again? This is about to break the fucking record. He about to have 30 sacks this year.
Didn't I tell you if he didn't get hurt last year, he was DPOY? He's walking away with that DPOY. Like he's twirling on his pinky finger this year, bro. He's not playing.
And I watched, I tuned in the pod, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are tripping trying to put Minka Parsons in that category with him, right? Like, give him time. Minka been like that last episode. It was either or. And some guys on here, Femi.
Wait.
You're saying who's had a better season, but
Micah Parsons is not on the same level.
I'm not saying he has potential to do what TJ has done.
No, he's on the same level.
I'm saying right now, cool it, because TJ Watt is like you just said, he's twirling with DPOY on his finger. That's every season consistently if he's just healthy. because he's just that type of guy. People don't give him credit. And it's probably because we're in Pitt and we don't win as much as other teams do, I guess.
That's true.
We're not America's team, but you a divisional rival, and you just gave TJ Watt credit, whereas other people that just be forgetting he's even a football player. And I don't understand how, because when it comes to pass rushing, it ain't too many. It's not too many better than him. It's not.
See, if you're saying on the same level pass rusher, yeah, I agree with you. He's not on the same level. He's a notch below still as a pass rusher, as a my favorite phrase, as a football player.
Yes,
now,
I get it.
We ain't gonna do that. They on the same level as a football player.
I get it. I think the question was who's gonna have a better season, and I'm looking at Minka right now as transforming into a pass rusher. I'm just like, he's not there yet. Like, damn it, he's gonna be. Like, the torch gonna get passed. But people just forget about TJ Watt. So I'm hoping he come in. He's very capable of having 3 sacks again.
I got the Steelers winning this game. I would stay away from the spread.
Man.
I just can't foresee the Steelers going 0-2 at the crib, and Tomlin.
Yeah, now that y'all say it like that,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think about it like that. 0-2 at the crib is gonna make Tomlin look crazy, being that his home record is insane.
Right.
Like,
they might have to play Renegade all 4 quarters.
It's gonna be live. It's gonna be Monday night. It's gonna be live.
I'm telling you though, but if y'all lose that game, bro, some shit's changing. Kenny Pickett might get slid. You can't lose that game. I'm telling you, y'all won games with fucking
Mitch
Mason Rudolph.
Kenny. We won games with Kenny.
You won games with Kenny, but you can't just start the season out
like Kenny beat Tom Brady last year. Now I know the Bucs won
did
last year, but Kenny beat Tom Brady. So let's not do that. Like, I'm
not gonna do him like that. It's only 1 week, bro. I don't want to. I can't be too much on that shit. It's 1 week, bro.
You a divisional rival anyway. I don't expect you to get Kenny no credit. but sheesh, you gonna see.
It's hard to get love in that AFC
here. Listen. We play the Ravens. I'm on here, and you better hope we don't win, because I'm.
Oh, now hey, look, I got a sweep in y'all. So you can talk any type of way you want to talk, because I got a sweep in y'all this year.
Hey, man. This is a long pod, man. We went through a lot.
We don't sweep the Steelers.
Long pod, man. We went through a lot today. I think this might be the longest pod where we weren't just bullshitting, like we were actually covering.
Yeah, bro. There's a lot of content for niggas that weren't we try to let niggas talk for the most part. Know what I'm saying? Not end this shit, nigga. I got some weed to smoke.
All right, man. Hey, Coach K, you got any last things to say before you get out of here?
End this shit.
Zaytoven.
Me, man. Appreciate you having me. Shout out Buckeye Nation. I meant to speak on Zeke.
God damn.
I meant to speak on Zeke, but we hold it to the next pod. I'm out.
I still fuck with Zeke. I don't know what he's talking about.
Zeke's sorry.
Zeke is he's a fuck nigga sorry. When it comes to, you know what I mean? But I still fuck with him. He can still run that motherfucker.
Zeke is sorry. Shout out my boy. Shout out my boy Tony Pollard, bro. I've been saying it since day one, man. We out of here, man. Act Like You Know podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. We're gone.